magandang hapon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And welcome back dito sa Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open Split 2, day number 2 of Week 3. I'm Rubixco, your host for today, and of course, joining me here on the panel today, we have a few familiar faces and a new face for this split. Give it up for Infinity and Poppy.
Hello, everybody!
Now, Poppy, of course, since it's your first day here
Yes.
on Split 2, why don't you tell everybody who you are? Introduce yourself.
Well, hi guys, my name is Poppy and I'm a caster. And I also play League of Legends, especially. I also a player and it's very exciting to be here, as we all know. Of course, working with you guys, it's much an honor for me, diba? As a caster.
I love the energy, absolutely, and I think that energy really dictates like the teams that we have here for today.
Yes.
Totoo. And speaking of teams, I think, Poppy, we have a lot of teams here today, but I think there's a one in particular that you're rooting for.
Yes, I have one particular team I'm rooting. Actually, there's supposed to be two, but now I really want to see one team that is going to fight later on, pero sorpresa na lang yon para mamaya. Makikita nyo lang yon, makikita nyo yung bias ko doon mamaya.
The hidden
Alright.
trump card.
Yes.
The hidden Exodia.
Yeah. And of course, for our team, they're going to be playing again for our massive prize pool of 1 million pesos. Again, don't forget, guys, our teams are working very, very hard for this prize. Of course, the winner will be taking home 500,000 pesos. And of course, that seat, yung plane ticket to go to Seoul, South Korea. And of course, we only have a few weeks left. Can you
Yes.
believe it? Mga ilang weeks na lang.
Malapit na.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
slowly filtering it out.
Couple of weeks remaining to fight for like a million prize pool, and really just a lot of stakes on the line. You mentioned it already, like a ticket to Korea.
And of course, these were the matches yesterday. Tiny recap for everybody. So of course, we're still gonna be doing a little bit of Group C today, and I think some of these teams we're gonna be seeing them go up against each other
Yes.
once again today.
So, makita natin dito, grabe. Bonus round!
Yeah, and I think that's one of the teams that we will be seeing later on for our
Yes.
third series. Yesterday, it was kind of like a balance between, you know, 2 zeros, those 2 1s, wherein last week, there was so much, like 3 games. best of
Oh
three
my
series.
goodness. I don't even want to think about that weekend. But of course, may na-post kami here on the Wild Rift page for a little community question. Which champion do you guys want to see in Wild Rift next? And ito yung mga comments
Ooh.
from you guys in the community.
Silas.
There's a few Silases here.
Yeah.
Shaco, Carthus,
Shoutouts to the person that mentioned Sarah.
Sarah.
I love you, bro.
Is that not
Sarah.
you?
Maybe that's you.
That
Ikaw
might
ba
be
yun?
me.
It's quite blurred, but I can still see it.
That might be me.
Let's see. Renata, LeBlanc, Aphelios. Oh, parang ang hirap ng
Ooh.
Aphelios though, no?
Aphelios in Wild Rift. Huh.
It will be interesting.
It will be interesting.
But I mean, it's
Shaco?
just like 3 buttons. So
That's true.
Yeah, true.
Management lang ng different guns. And there's also a Shaco. Parang, I like na
Personally,
wala pa
Shaco
tayong
is gonna be one
Shaco.
of my favorites. It's
Right,
kind of like a
right.
horror game.
Favorite! Oh
Yes.
my god. I hate Shaco. Parang when the Shaco's on the enemy team, sobrang galing niya.
Yes.
When the Shaco's on your team,
Ooh.
bro,
It's just a clown.
literally a clown.
Got that right.
But of course, our match schedule for today, kagaya ng sinabi namin kanina, we
Yes.
are going to be having a second look at these teams dito sa Group C. Of course, our first match is going to be between TSKR2 or TSKR Obsydia versus UA1, UA1 versus HRiP, and of course, TSKR coming back again with bonus round.
Ooh, bonus round.
And this is very interesting, right? Because the thing is, like, these teams have played this weekend, so really it's all about that momentum. It's all about knowing these enemy teams. I mean, yesterday we saw TSKR2, UA1, BR. These are familiar names already, and we're gonna see them once again today.
Yeah. So the key here is what mix-up are they going to show us
Sure,
today?
yeah.
Or the drafts, diba?
That's right. And parang ang ganda din ng setup for, you know, this split number 2. And speaking of split number 2, we have
Oh.
our codes
Oh.
back.
Ay, eto.
Guys, screenshot nyo. It's a first come, first serve. So whoever redeems this first gets the prize. And I think
Unahan na natin.
we'll be having... Wait, delay. But of
Wild
course,
Rift.
we will be having these codes scattered throughout the stream. So make sure that you guys keep your eyes peeled. It can show up literally
Here,
anywhere
there,
on the
there.
screen.
Diba?
They're
Everywhere.
in game.
Everywhere.
Possibly.
Possibly.
We don't
Possibly.
know. That's why you guys have to keep on watching.
Oh.
But of course, we know we were talking about the teams and what they might be bringing. And again, ang ganda ng format natin for split number 2 because the groups now play on one weekend. So, like you were saying, Infi, the momentum is there. They're fresh off of their games yesterday, and it kind of gives them that, like, not really too much of a window to cool down, but
Yeah.
more to be more, I would say, they're still in game, right? Very
Yes.
present.
The mindsets are still in game. So technically there is still like a tournament, the nervousness that they feel since it's a big tournament. So you're going to feel a little bit nervous, a little bit hype, and of course some of the players, they know each other. Since I've been in the community as well, most of the players know each other very well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like maybe a target pick, a target bans, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, plus the stakes on the line. We talked about this a while ago, and we have been reiterating it time and time again, even from Split 1 going to Split 2. It's the road to Korea. It's a million prize pool for these teams that will be playing here in the community track. So there's a lot of stakes on the line at this time around. And I feel like today's games is kind of the redemption arc for a lot of these teams.
That's right. And I think a lot of these teams, like we were saying, they know each other. And again, the Wadrans Philippines community, we're very, very tight-knit, right?
Yes.
So, of course, everyone knows each other. And everyone is, of course, trying to beat each other for that ticket to Korea. And parang it's a little bit heartbreaking to think about because you have to take down possibly your friends who are on the other team. And speaking of friends, let's see who we've got here on TSKR Obsydia. May mga standout players pa for you guys?
Actually, Envy is a standout for me because I know him from a couple of games. He's a very good ADC, especially with a little bit of comfort picks. The hard carry picks of the ADCs like Sayas, Jinx, and all of that. And yeah, overall, this is a solid team lineup.
Yeah,
for
and I
TSKR.
definitely do agree. I think Envy is one of the kind of the carries for this team, but also at the same time, I have to tip my hats off to Audi 4K. I think they play it complementary all throughout those team fights, and I think these are some of the expectations that we can have for this specific team. Because from the prior weeks, we have always been seeing these junglers carry out, what should we be doing? What should be the rotations? What are the certain team fights that we're going to have? And I feel like for TSKR2, it would be Audi 4K and Envy.
I totally agree. Again, it's always been the junglers kind of, having that hero role dito sa Split 2. Pero, Colby, bakit ka tumatawa?
Speaking of jungles, UA1 MSF France. I personally know him. He's a very good jungler, especially don't give him the Lilia pick. If we see the Lilia pick in this game, I assure you, or rather the HRiP.
Okay, so things on 4 legs.
Yes, things on 4 legs, basically.
Ban it away. Don't give him 4 legs.
Don't give him 4
mga-
legs, just give him
just
2
two.
legs.
Yeah.
2
Just
legs,
like-
2 arms, that's good.
But why is he good at those champs?
Actually, because I played with him, we played Screams before with him, and then we saw his tournaments before as well, and he's very good at smites and the steals. He's very good at calculating the distance of where you should gank, where you should get the dragons and all. So basically, a whole round, he's the one dictating the game. Yeah.
Okay, and I think, is this why napili mo yung UA1
Yes,
for...
as you can see there.
Okay.
There, as you can see.
It's a
I love it.
2v1 here. For me personally, I went with TSKR because I know both teams have a very, very good... Both teams have a very, very good set of players. So parang sa isip ko, it's like, if Team 1's pretty good, I'm sure Team 2 is pretty good too.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the storyline that we have here for Wild Rounds, right? These are some of the highest and most strongest teams that we have in League of Legends Wild Rift. These players have been playing together for quite the longest time, even in ranked games. So I feel like if there's anyone that could, dictate what are the weakness of these teams that we're going to have here in Split 2, these are the teams that will be it. But for TSKR2, you mentioned it, right? I think the strategy here for TSKR2 is really to look at Sleeping Monster, deny him out of that potential to scale. I think that could be one of the winning conditions here.
Yeah. So if the Sleeping Monster wakes up, it's gonna be our monster.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you have to get him while he's still sleeping.
Yeah.
Exactly. But of course, we're about to head into our draft, and I think, and for the past 3 weeks, we've seen a lot of new champions join us here for Split 2. Have there been any surprising picks or non-picks?
Actually, on Saturday, it's Cho'Gath. First time I saw
Choga.
Cho'Gath. Yeah. Used by Eve.
Right, because it was banned. Well, it was not banned necessarily, but
It
it
was
cannot
allowed
be
recently.
used.
Yeah, it's allowed
Cannot be
recently.
used in the past weeks. But yeah, Cho'Gath will be a very interesting champion.
Yeah, actually. Especially when Eve played Cho'Gath, the silence and then the chomps, it's very satisfying to, almost one-hit someone.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Yeah, for sure. But something of a perspective as well, coming into this draft, I think from what we have been seeing over the past weeks, Vi, Lee Sin, these are the junglers that could really dictate how these games are going to go. So it's not banned here in the first phase, it will get picked.
Mm.
Mhm.
So here we have Zillion and Gwen banned for the UA1. So I think they are trying to, alisin yung ating mga tank shredders dito. And of course, Morgana as well is a very good counter pick for, TSKR, since there will be no routing and of course the hallowed ground. Ooh.
That's right. And also, parang interesting din to point out, like what you were saying about the jungle bans. Parang week 1 and week 2, it has always been jungle ban prio, especially for the first 3 bans. I'd say probably this week has been the first time it is not the
Jungle
priority here.
Yeah.
Mhm. But I have to point out, look at how TSKR2 is doing their ban so far. In the first phase bans, they're banning away the Zillion, they're banning away the Morgana. What we mentioned a while ago, it was Sleeping Monster who really was able to dictate in the bottom lane over the past few games here in Split 2. So I think that is the perspective of TSKR2. We have to focus down into the bottom lane and deny them any of that breathing room to be able to scale.
Oh, yes, indeed. And of course, the Cho'Gath ban as well is very
No.
big. We can't see any more Cho'Gath for this game since ban. So what will be the first pick here? Oh,
That is really good
yeah.
as well.
They're picking me.
Poppy!
Poppy.
They're picking Poppy.
Parang they got the spelling wrong.
Yeah.
Rather, you have to change it to the correct spelling. But I think
Typo.
it's a pretty
Oh, they changed.
honestly, Vi.
Oh, Vi is a
game
very
one,
good engager.
Mhm.
I think we haven't really seen a lot of Vi game ones because again she gets banned
It's
out
always
pretty
banned.
Yeah,
much
it's always
all the
banned.
time
Yeah.
with Fearless Draft. So really refreshing to see it pretty early. But now on the other side we've got an Ezreal, but let's see what they're gonna be pairing it
Yeah,
up with.
and I wonder what UA1's direction is going to be. They picked up the Ezreal, but they have the Renekton, Lee Sin, the Poppy that's also open, so it's not getting picked up. It will be TSK2 who has the options to get it through. Now for UA1, this is a very safe first 2 picks so far. Poppy has the ability to deny a lot of these engages and a lot of these objectives fights later on, so I think that's wherein UA1 wants to put their perspective that, you know what, we're going to clear out certain objectives, the ability to scale, because Ezreal is a very safe champion.
Yes, especially when he scales early to the mid game, to the late game, he deals a pretty much good damage. But then again, we have Camille with his lockdown ability for his ultimate, can really lock down an
Yeah.
ADC.
Yeah, and I love how you mentioned about Camille. So far, first, these 2 picks, Vi, Camille, Galio would be perfect in this
Ooh.
composition.
Actually.
Okay, I think TSKR is cooking here, but it looks like we might be hovering an Orianna still
Ooh.
works with
It's
the
so good.
amount of lockdown that they have.
You just give the ball to one of them and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good. I think it's also on top of the lockdown, a really, really good ball delivery system. Both of these champions. On the other side,
that's
the
actually pretty
Xin
good.
Zhao. I think a pretty good counter.
yeah,
to
that's a
the
pretty good
lockdown.
counter for a counter engage. Since both of these guys are Camille and Vi is actually a very good backline divers, and we have Xin Shao here to deny the backline. Also, we have Poppy as well for the disengage. So they are trying to see here like a counter engage or like a skirmish type of team comp here, while on the other side they are really going in for that really backline dive type of comp.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and that's also one of the reasons why we mentioned a while ago that Galio could be perfect, and it still can go up. However, it will be banned away. UA1 is really clever with this move.
Yeah, indeed. So I think the perfect one here for Sleeping Monster. Well, he already picked for the Ezreal. I think the next here will be good, like a Rise comp or a Rise pick here for both of the teams, because the map picks and then the traversal of the map is really good if you have a Rise on the team, especially the scaling as well for his damage. Oof.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, for TSKR2, EA1, they have to pivot their eyes onto the support role, onto the mid lane and bottom lane as well. Which are the champions are we going to pick up? Considering that UA1 has banned away the Zaya and the Galio, this leaves a Lucian open for TSKR2. And then, in terms of the support, a Gragas can also get picked up if ever they want to deny that potential objective takedowns from a Poppy.
Right. And I think I like yung bans ng TSKR here because again, Cosmos is a really, really good support. He knows how to get his ADC online. So I like how we have a lot of support bans over here. But on the other side, I feel like parang hindi nila na-target ban si Envy enough. I feel like he still has a lot of options here. But again, Cosmos really good on the Enchanter supports as well. The Nami could be a good pick here,
Okay,
but it's going to
Sona.
be a Sona.
Okay.
I like that better because Nami doesn't exactly have the ability to enable a Nezreal. He's really good in team fights, but I think Sona would play it out a lot better here in this competition, especially with a Poppy and a Xin Zhao that is really an all-in comp. Now for TSKR2, this is what we mentioned a while ago. They left the Lucian open and it will get picked up.
Oh, the famous combo of Lucian and Nami picks
Really
is
strong.
really strong in
Yo.
the dual lane.
What am I seeing?
Chill down.
Kassadin?
Wow!
I don't think it's
Kassadin or Kasawin?
I don't think it's good in this competition exactly because the thing is like Kassadin is really strong in the late game and also
Oh.
is really strong up against AP champions. But we're going to look at TSKR 2. It's only the Orianna has that ability to put AP damage. So I think Cassandra works a lot better.
That's right. And again,
Yes.
another a good lockdown champion here for the Lucian or even the Nami possibly. I like how both teams were very parang ang reactive nila
Yeah.
Yes.
for
Yeah.
all of the
Counter
all the
picks
pick
to
and
counter
bans.
picks.
This is really, really good. I like this draft.
Yes,
It's one
I
of my
really love
favorite
this
drafts so
draft.
far.
So the backline divers and the counter divers.
Yeah, and I think if we're going to put a perspective here for TSKR 2, this is a very balanced draft. You have early game with the Lucian, you have late game with the likes of Orianna. And then when in terms of pickoffs and team fights, TSKR 2 has a lot of that ease of engage tools, right? You have
Yes.
the Nami ultimate, the Vi Season Desist, Camille's Hextech Ultimatum, Orianna's Shockwave. They have a lot of utility. And now for UA1, they're also kind of in that perspective of, you know what, you have a lot of utilities, but we have the ability to go for the all-in as well. You have
Yes.
the Lissandra, the Sona. These are ultimates that will play a key role for these team compositions.
Yeah, especially with Xin Zhao as well, with the help with the dive. And of course, his ultimate is very useful for counter engage and disengages as well if they got picked off in a bad spot. So they can really utilize their champions here really good.
That's right. I think parang if we look at the comp zone, I feel like TSKR feels like a very team-focused comp, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And UA1 feels like they are ready to brawl, they're ready to adjust with the type of champions that they've picked up. And
Yes.
I think that kind of just shows how their two playstyles also differ as teams. But of course, we're going into game number 1 here on day 2 of week number 3. And of course, to bring us the action, you've got Infi and Puffy.
Yes, sir. So here, now as you can see, oh, that early engage here. 3-man gank here for Twilight. Oh, okay, he doesn't burn any flashes or anything subs, so he still got it. But then he needs to recall, so that's gonna bring him back to a little bit behind for the XP and the gold. But kind of right now, it's just chill.
Yeah, and this is really strong for TSKR 2. They have denied a lot of this first lane objective, or well, first lane laning phase for Twilight Shroud to be able to kind of farm. And the thing is, these type of aggression can be expected for TSKR 2 for the whole early game. Because this is what we mentioned during the draft, right? Envy has a Lucian, very strong in the early game,
Yes.
with the Nami as well, that can put a lot of aggression in the bottom lane. Vi is really strong, level 1 to level 6. You have a lot of utility as well to put up a team fight up against UA1 and even that pickup potential. So this is expected for this team all throughout the early game.
Ooh, but here, I think Sleeping Monster is very aggressive in the LLA, especially his Ezreal pick. Of course, they are shoving the Nami and the Lucian back. Envy and Panda is really having a hard time here.
Yeah, but
actually.
we'll want to pin a point into the junglers because during a while ago, during the pre-show, we were talking about how junglers have always and consistently been dictating how the rotations are going to go, how these team fights are supposed to go for each of these respective teams. And if we're going to look at the junglers for both these sides, they're panning themselves into a similar side. It's a parallel jungle clear for both Franz and Impressive. So I think that's one of the key points, that these bottom lanes are something that these two junglers are eyeing out for.
Yes, actually. But as we can see here, I didn't see much involvement of invading of the camps actually here. So medyo passive sila pagdating dito. But then again, we will see, I think, a fight here when it goes to an objective for maybe a dragon or a Rift Herald later on. But, oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. But then again, that's Alessandra. He can easily disengage from any ganks that comes into his lane.
Yeah, a good respect coming in from Twilight Shroud.
Yeah.
And I think this is the reason why this is such is because from what we see in the first 10 seconds of the game, Twilight Shroud was just being ganked in the first few seconds of the matchup, and I think that respect has to be done for Twilight Shroud, considering once again that's a Vi that we're talking about with ultimates readily available already for Vi and OD4K. Ooh, this is something that could put a huge threat onto each and every single one for UA1.
Yes, here. But certainly the game so far, we are already closing into the 3 minutes, but still, they're playing it really safe. They're farming passively, or semi-passively, as you can see here on the bottom lane. Sleeping Monster. Oh, wait, that's a very good ult from Twilight Shroud. And with the follow-up from MS Franz. Oh, that is a very good shockwave. And here, the Vault Breaker is coming in. Is going to chase, but is it going to be enough? Nope, it's not going to be enough. It's a little disengaged, but I think Vi is still not done yet. He's going to go in for an invade here. Oh. Yeah, but he's gonna back off now.
Yeah.
Oh, unless we have the first blood here. And indeed, we have the first blood for Twilight Shroud.
Bit of an overextension.
Yes.
I think that stems from Impressive going for the jungle invade on top side. And OD4K, being that team player, wants to extend a little bit just in case a team fight occurs.
Yes.
He can follow through. But unfortunately, Twilight Shroud is such a dominating mid laner wherein he can just jump into a team fight or just jump into a pickoff and get that CC and get that burst damage. And I think that's really the deficit for Orianna, especially in the early game. Not the strongest champion in the early phases of a game.
Yes, in the phases of the game here. While going here in the bot lane, Sleeping Monster is really keeping the pressure on Envy here and CJ Poggy. But now, you can see a little bit of aggressiveness now coming from both of the teams here, because since the objectives is really close to spawning now. And then, yeah, the lead from, or the behind from earlier with Twilight Shroud has really gotten a boost now. He's in the lead now in his mid lane. Now he's currently ganking slowly for the other lanes. But here, Sleeping Monster is still keeping up the pressure here, while Oni here is now to back up the Envy.
Yeah. And for TSKR too, I think what we could expect is a potential Rift Herald takedown, because once again, these team comp is very strong in the early game. And I think the winning condition for TSKR 2 is to be able to lock in an advantage in like the first couple of minutes into the matchup. You also have like the Vi, the Lucian, the Orianna, and Nami that has ultimates that can dictate how the team fight would go. So I think having the Rift Herald for TSKR 2 would put them at an advantage and have that possibility of ballooning a better gold lead up against UA1.
Yes, indeed, here for the better gold lead. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the code popping out of the screen if you guys see that. And now, you see here in the mid lane, a little bit of skirmishes happening here right now with... Oh, just relax a little bit. I think they're going here for a contest on the Rift Herald. They're going to try to ditch the dragon for the early here. They're going to prioritize the Rift Herald, which is a very good decision for the, the first tower and the gold picks.
Yeah. And this is very interesting, because I was expecting UA1 to do a bit of a handshake, a one-to-one objective trade. Because the thing is, TSK2, once again, they have the shockwave, they have the cease and desist, they have that delivery system that a Vi or a Camille can enter into the backside and just either pick off Twilight Shroud or Sleeping Monster. So I think in that perspective, UA1 would be much better off going for the Drake, and TSKR2 would be better off with the Rift Herald. So given that they're contesting it, there's kind of a coin flip for both these teams.
Yes, it is a coin flip. But now I think they're going in for a clash here. Oh! Okay, Vi is coming in here with the wave from Nanami, and now here it comes Camille going down here. Oh, that they say goodbye. Now the shockwave here is going in. Lucia is gonna take out Envy, and of course all the skills are flying in here. MSS France is trying to go for another skirmish here. Oh, is it gonna survive? Lisandro's gonna survive. Yes, maybe. Oh, okay, the flash is gonna get burned down, and I think yeah, UA1 did a really good job at that fight.
Yeah, and I think TSKR too hard one. Oh, really unfortunate. But it's TSKR2 who had kind of a scattered team fight. If we're gonna look at this, Nami used the ultimate into the front lines. But the thing is, it was Camille, impressive, chased down onto Fern into like the top part of the map. But they left OD4K, Envy, and then the Nami alone up against 3 members of UA1. It was Twilight Shroud, Sleeping Monster, and Cosmo who was just picking them off one by one. And I think that was just the unfortunate part. Like TSKR2 just left their backside unattended, and that left UA1 to be able to dominate that team fight.
Yes, it's going to be a reverse sweep now. I think possibly here. I think there's going to be another fight. Now, Vi is going to come in with a Bolt Breaker. Hopefully. Yes, he's going to try for going to steal, but here now, the Nami wave. Oh, he successfully stole it. That is very good now. There, but sadly though, double kill for Twilight Shroud. That is a very good ult from Lissandra.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Once again, UA1 is able to kind of play reactively. We're gonna look at this fight. It was Lissandra who ulted the backside, got 3, stunned up alongside with Cosmo, and I think that was just the demise of TSKR2 in that team fight. And overall, UA1 playing it very, very sleekly here all throughout the early gaming phase, and we expected TSKR2 to have that advantage.
Yes. The advantage now is going in for the UA1. They're slowly trying to invade now on the red side of TSKR's 2's jungle, while here Vi is trying to look for an invade. But now, looking in the top lane, Camille already built the Divine Sunderer, with Poppy building his a little bit of stacks of hard steel, so kind of chunky here now. But then again, we have a Camille with a true damage of his W. Oh, I think we're gonna have another skirmish here. MSN France is really trying to deny, you know, the invades here. But then again, as you can see, the respo time of UA1 is really impressive here, because as soon as they see someone invading or see someone, you know, overextending, they really try to go in for that player.
Yeah, and the TSKR2 is now having such a hard time. If we're going to look at the gold, there's a lot of gold funneling all throughout onto France. It is pretty much like a 1.5k gold lead individually in terms of the jungler. And I think that is putting up a huge headache for TSKR2 on how they're able to fight this. Because remember, we were expecting Impressive to have that advantage early on, to be able to get those pickoffs, to be able to win in those team fights with a lot of utilities, with a lot of ultimates that can easily put out a winning team fight for them. But unfortunately, for UA1, it was Twilight Shroud who's always able to keep an eye on to the backside. Once TSKR2 puts up the Nami ultimate, puts up Impressive's cease and desist, and the Volt Breaker, Twilight Shroud goes into the backside, stuns onto 3, and it's over.
Yes, indeed. But now, coming here, oh, I think Fen is going to die. The defense that we're really trying to take his first tower, but I think, yeah, TSKR won't be able to defend it successfully. But still, it's just a tier 1. But then again, 2 towers already been taken down for the side of UA1, and of course Golds is really quite, you know, a gap now from both teams.
Yeah, and this is very methodical coming from UA1. They have a lot of advantage here in this early game, and they're not overextending. They know that they are on a position of strength already.
Yes.
6k gold lead, 5k gold lead is nothing to be scoffed on in 10 minutes. That's a lot of gold coming from UA1, so now they just have to keep it stable and balloon that advantage down the road for mid-game, late game. And I think the perspective or the winning condition here for TSKR2 is to be able to pick off either Twilight Shroud or Sleeping Monster. And the ones who's able to do that would be Impressive, would be Camille. These are the champions that can get that point-and-click CC down onto those main carries to be able to turn things around. Because if they lose Sleeping Monster, if they lose Twilight Shroud for UA1, this is over. They have no more damage left standing in those team fights.
Yes, so they really need for Camille to, you know, build up her core items, you know, to be able to gank, to be able to dive into the backline. Of course, with Impressive as well, this Vi, now all the 3 towers has been taken down for the side of UA1. And now, they're slowly preparing up for the Baron here, as we can see.
Yeah, it's just a lot of preparations coming in from both these sides. But I think before they go into a Baron, considering that both these teams have 5 members standing across the board, I think the priority now for UA1 would be the Drake. Because if they force out the Baron and TSKR2 finds an opportunity and finds an option to be able to go in, get the steal, or win a certain team fights, especially considering that they have the Nami ultimate alongside with a lot of delivery system for TSKR2, that would kind of put UA1 at a deficit. So Dragon would be the name of the game here in 12 minutes.
Yep, you are right, 12 minutes. Ooh, but they got spotted from Sleeping Monsters. Ezreal ult here. Now they are slowly backing off here. You know, as you can see, the dominance, the domination that the aura they give off from the side of UA1 is really good. And now there will be no chance for a soul here for the TSKR2. But now they're slowly making their way inside for the Baron, but still not over. The clash here is starting on. That is a nice pickup for the Vi as well. Ooh, and he goes, impressive goes down as well. Camille is gonna dive down right now. Shockwave is gonna go down. That is a really good ultimates flopping in, flying out, and now they're going to start the Baron here. Still has a chance to fight back, but then again, we have a Sona on the team here, you know, to provide healing, the damage, you know, the stuns as well. We have a Poppy guarding out, or, you know, warding off the side of TSKR2, and they're successfely taking the Baron for themselves.
And again, for those team fights, it is TSKR2 is a bit scattered. We saw their vision, right? Going in for the first turret into mid lane gives them a bit of an advantage or an even level playing field to take the Baron. But instead, they overextended. They were scattered apart. Impressive was left alone to fight up against every single one from UA1. And with him being defeated, it will be a free Baron for UA1 to pick up. So 2 of 2 objectives in 12 minutes. That is a huge headache for this team. And once again, what we emphasized a while back, it's UA1 who has just to play it methodically. They don't need to risk it. It is TSKR who has to force something, and with that, UA1 pounces on them and get that advantage, ballooning every single minute as this time goes by.
Yes, and uniquely enough, UA1 knows how to, you know, not to overextend, you know, give the players... Oh, as you can see here, Twilight Shroud is going in for the ultimate here, but then again... Oh my god!
True shot barrage.
Oh, almost hits.
Yeah.
Okay, here, but now they're slowly, you know, trying to make way through the tier 2 towers.
Wait, what?
Oh.
They're fighting too hard. Oh, that is crazy.
Oh my god.
The confidence of this man is insane. But again, at this point, it's TSKR2 who just has to burn out the Baron buff and look for another day to get those team fights and find the opportunity to get the pickoffs onto Twilight Shroud and Sleeping Monster. But an in-hit turret in the mid lane and bottom lane already secured by UA1, and that is huge value that has been taken down by UA1 with the Baron buff.
Yes, but then again, now they have a cannon minion here, or buff minions here, that is going to provide some significant goal for them, you know, to really slowly climb back to get their core items here. But then again, it's constantly pushing lane now. So the only lanes left is on the top lane. But then again, they're now focusing there, as we can see here. Sleeping Monster is slowly pushing the wave. Now, too hard for Jay. He's really trying hard, but then again, he got picked out, killed by the Sleeping Monster. And I think it's safe to say that Sleeping Monster is literally awake now at this point with the 3 items for his Ezreal.
Yeah, and like UA1 kind of unbeatable at this moment. We talked about how impressive in the Hard4J on top side will play a crucial role down the road to pick off Twilight Shroud and Sleeping Monster. But so far, with this type of composition, it is now near impossible to be able to do so, especially given the fact that you also have Fen that has Poppy that can be able to be the sponge for the team and deny.
Just cost the lives of Odie here, and of course, most of the team fights here is now coming in, slowly pinching away at the team of TSKR. Wow, from one mistake, Impressive did cost the lives of 2 of his teammates, Hard4J and Odie. And now I think this is gonna cost them the first game.
Yeah, UA1 very methodical in their play, and they're now looking for the Nexus.
Ooh. Nexus is gonna come here, and of course Twilight Shroud with his ultimate on herself. And he's still not down. Double kill for Sleeping Monster here, and now that is the game. Wow, that is a fast game.
UA1 methodical in their play. Their macro is on point as they take first blood here in this series. And TSKR2, that was really, really unfortunate from that early mid-game phase. But UA1 What a
Wow.
play there from
That is a really
Sleeping
good play.
Monster and Twilight
Yeah,
Shroud.
Sleeping Monster, and of course Twilight Shroud as well. Of course, MSF France with the the follow-ups with this guy with his Sin Shot is really impressive as well. Especially the fights here, as we can see. That's like you said, it's a very scattered team fight for TSKR, which is supposedly diving into one champion, then move on to the next. But then again, as you can see, it's very scattered for the fights. They have a really good comp, but they don't really particularly utilize it much here in the game. Yeah, so that's what happened.
Twilight Shroud, you beast. You beast, man. I think Twilight Shroud has played this near perfect across the board from the early start into the end. Like, it was TSKR2 who wanted to bring down Twilight Shroud in that early game phase, able to turn back very quickly as well. And then Twilight Shroud, all of a sudden, in those objective fights, is able to find the perspective of looking into the backside, getting that multi-man stun. And I think that just constantly changes the tides of the game in favor of UA1. I think this man deserves that MVP, alongside Sleeping Monster as well, doing a lot of damage all throughout that match.
Actually, both of them just didn't die for once in that game, and that just shows how much mastery that they got with the champions. Here, the MVP of the game here goes to Sleeping Monster once again. So this is like his comeback from being the MVP, which really shows how good of a player he is. With a 7-3 and 8 with a gold of 15,242, and of course the team fight, he's always present at the team fight with a 79%, and of course the most damage though.
Yeah, for sure. Dealing a lot of damage all throughout, and actually just playing it a bit safe into the backside. I think that is the strength of Ezreal. You have a lot of utility, you have a lot of mobility as well. No one of your teammates has to keep an eye on you just because you have that arcane shift. So really very, very safe all throughout a matchup, and I think that is one of the strengths that Ezreal does have. I think in the past week as well, we crowned a champion of champions.
Yes.
And that was Ezreal. Because he's the most picked and bans across the board.
Well, he's the most safest ADC pick
Yeah,
throughout.
for sure. For sure. So we'll see if how TSKR2 would be adjusting, because so far here in game number 1, I think their team fight coordination has to be improved later down the road. So game 2, we keep an eye on them. If they can change that, maybe we'll see a game 3 best of 3 series. That's it for now. Game number 1, it was UA1 who's able to take the first blood.
Yes.
We're just gonna throw it a short break. When we come back, it's game 2 of the series.
The Earth hides many secrets. Let's shake things up! Every stone weaves a different story.
Witness my might.
Feel my speed. Speeding up.
Welcome back mga ka-Wildriff dito sa Wildlands Pilipinas Open Split number 2 at kakagaling lang natin sa game number 1 between TSKR, Obsydia, and of course, UA1. And I just want to say, ano nangyari? Because honestly, I felt like composition-wise, TSKR looked amazing, but in the end, it was a stomp from UA1.
Yeah, it was kind of a fest, right? Coming in from that game number 1, UA1 very methodical in their plays, and I think TSKR2 had a huge and really a really good comp, right? But the problem is if they go in for that engage, their main carries and their support are going to be left unattended. I think that was a perspective wherein UA1 capitalized on.
Yes, indeed. Because most of the time, yung damage dealer niya na solution, talagang nawala eh. Pag once na nawala na yung Lucian, mababawasan na sila ng damage. Of course, medyo behind is impressive. Then again, ang main damage dealer nila is Camille. But then again, Camille is in the middle of in the thick of it. Diba?
Yeah, and I like your point, right? Because the thing is, Oriana's never gonna carry early.
Yes.
She has no damage early on, and she needs to be able to scale down in the mid game and late game wherein he has 3 items before he deals a lot of damage, and burst damage in fact. But it's really unfortunate because Impressive and Lucian was the one who was, or who needs to be able to carry early. And you mentioned about Lucian getting picked up early on, and really unfortunate part.
Yes, of course. You know, and of course, even when Twilight is really behind, let's say Twilight gets left behind, he can still ult someone, you know, he can still ult himself to heal, he can still ult someone to, you know, to shatter the Camille dive, the Vi dive, and just makes it a really easy kill for the diver.
Yun din, again, TSKR, they had the 2 divers, the Camille and the Vi, right? They jump in, again, they get in the middle of the fight, but of course, yung Lissandra, it's an easy denial for one of them, and like you said, they get, it leaves the entire backline them to, parang to fend for themselves, and what are they gonna do? They're just 3 squishy champions!
Enchanter pa yung support. So that was kind of
Sona
the problem.
pa, actually.
And I think that was just UA1 who's able to really just push up a really, really good fight. And the thing is, like, Israel yung ADC nila. So, if mag-engage din si TSKR2, 3v3 tayo sa carries and support type of positioning, kayang lumaban ng UA1 with what you mentioned a while ago as well, Poppy, na si Lissandra meron pa siyang ultimate.
Meron pa. And of course, meron din ultimate si Sona doon na pwede niyo pang counter engage pag sabi na bitin ang ultimate ni Lissandra with the only 1 pick off. Meron din siyang hull stun, di ba? Okay, eto sa inyo. Parang ganun lang ginawa niya eh.
Served on a silver platter.
Exactly.
Yung isda naging tilapia.
Yes! Grilled, cooked, charred, burnt.
Di ba?
Again. But that was just game number 1. May chance pa ang TSKR to make up for the loss. But of course, you can't deny na sobrang dominating
Yes,
right.
Indeed.
ng UA1 in that first game. So I hope here, TSKR, they're able to mentally reset and of course, you know, kind of shake off that it could have just been a very, very unlucky game for them. Remember to protect their
Mhm.
backline.
Yes.
Ganon.
Ano pa lang yan? Warm up pa lang yan, guys. Kumbaga, warm up. First game, di ba?
Yeah.
Malay natin.
Sure. And I think the thing is, with how the bans are going, meron pa tayong Lee Sin, we have Renekton still
Oh.
open for any of these two teams to pick up, and I think those are key champions. And looking how the first game went, TSKR2 might have a better option to go in for the Renekton for that early game phase, considering how they're really playing for that early game matchup. So really, it could be a trade of champions here for both sides.
Yes. But then again, TSKR still goes with the same bans. So Zillian, Morgana, and Ambessa is still gonna get banned here. While on the other side,
Ayun,
two of the
Renekton.
bans. Oh, yun na. Renekton is gonna get picked. Ang buhaya natin.
Rawr.
Okay. So,
Okay, so for TSKR2, meron pa Lee Sin. Unfortunately, a while ago, Vi did not work out for them.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the perspective that they want to go early game. So Lee Sin plays out perfectly in this fight. And now having the Rumble as well gives him that extra AP damage that can play out really well in those team fights.
Ooh,
So I
Rumble.
think this is really good on top lane.
okay, but I think they got... Rumble is a really good kind of team fight, actually, with the equalizer. That's a really good. And can steal fights, pwede rin. But impressive here, going in... Lee Sin is a really good pick, that's like you said. But... Renekton with a dive. Oh,
Very
Smolder.
early on.
Early.
Okay, this is kind of a coin flip, or well, rather,
Uh-huh.
kind of an opposite direction for what they went in game number 1. Smolder is a very late game champion that needs a lot of time. And
Yes.
now the question is, can TSKR2 survive for that time to be able to reach Smolder's ability to execute and to be able to burn down their opponents?
Yes.
Exactly. And yun din yung the thing that you have to worry about against a team like UA1 kasi nakita na natin, they're able to end out the game and push their advantages to the
Yeah.
max, right? They don't leave a lot of room for mistakes. So again, that Smolder, will it have enough time to really come online? And I think UA1 now with a Yunara, again, here just so many really powerful early game
And a
heavy hitters.
Yeah, and ang ganda kasi ng macro plays din ng UA1. They're able to play methodically from game number 1. They're able to play towards certain objectives in certain lanes. They're not giving away any breathing room for their opponents to be able to fight them back. So I think having the Milio, having the Yanara, having the Renekton plays it out really, really well so far. For them, they have early game with the Renekton and late game with the Yanara.
Yes, Yunara here. Oh, with the Millie partner as well. So the extended range, and of course with the ultimate. Wow. But then again, support Ornn can really turn a fight here with his passives, and of course the Ram, the Call of the Forge God, and the Rams as well. With the slows and the Bellowing Breath with the Brittle. But then again, the objective here for TSKR is to survive until mid-game to late game for the Smolder to get online. But then again, we have a Renekton that's gonna to dive. And then a Yunara with the Emilio buff, so basically an extended range of his basic attacks. And of course, the slowness of from the W and the ultimate as well it gives off. So basically, it's gonna be in the junglers or the mid picks here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
TSKR2, who their mid lane is going to be, is a bit of a question mark for me as well. Their jungler, UA1, Mel is going to be banned away. Yeah, for sure. I think they need CC because Ornn will not come through at the early gaming phase. So Lee Sin going to be banned away. I think that's really good for UA1.
Yeah.
Having to pinpoint the jungler instead, denying a lot of these champions, would deny a lot of that early game breathing room for TSKR2.
Yep, and I think, both teams missing their jungler and their mid laner now. But you can see the different approach here. UA1 denying the jungle, TSKR denying the mid. Talia, I think, would give them a lot more flexibility. I think TSKR now parang natuto na sila from their mistakes. I think they have a really good balance. But this Jax, it makes me take back what I said.
So two champions that is scaling towards the late game, while we pick on the other side is the early bullies, or we call them the early bullies here. Huh. Okay, so the objective here is really to survive.
Hala, may
This is-
four-legged animal na siya.
Ayan na, binigay na.
Four-legged champion.
Ayan na. Nakikita ko na.
But I'm really having a hard time for TSKR too. Kasi napag-usapan natin kanina, right? Smolder really needs time to be able to deal damage. Ornn, Jax, Rumble doesn't exactly shout carries
Yep.
in the game. So they still need that damage dealer. I don't know where these champs are going to go, but UA1
Ooh, Gnar.
has such a balanced draft.
I love this.
So
Yes.
what would TSKR do in this type of composition?
Ooh, a Kha'Zix pick. Huh.
Honestly, para sa akin, big question mark yung comp. But if they can cook, you know, maybe we don't know this dish, right?
A
Okay.
mystery dish.
I mean, here, UA1, this is your classic, right? It looks
Yes.
very, ang ganda ng balance. You can see where everyone is going. And of course, we know a lot of these players are on champions they're really good
Ooh,
at.
wait.
TSKR here, a
Also
lot of
mid one.
shuffling
Lilia mid?
around here.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's Lilia mid. Oh, so Gnar jungle.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Let him cook.
Yeah,
Yes.
let them cook.
Let
Never
'em cook.
question.
It's their game.
Yeah,
It's
don't-
their picks. It's their draft.
This is their home. We are just guests.
Yes.
And you know, to be polite to your host, never question what they're serving you
Yeah, let
for
them
dinner.
cook.
Pero my big question mark here is, again, you have the Kha'Zix and the Jax here, so a lot of potential for early pickoffs, possibly. I think what they might be going for here, but maybe they were hoping for the
Huh.
Lilia to be in the jungle.
But this is going to be a hard time. We all know that Kha'Zix's strength is isolated targets. And in the bottom lane, you're not going to see that because Milio is going to just
Stick.
hug
Yes.
Sleeping Monster all throughout the matchup. Twilight Shroud with the Lilia is so fast, Kha'Zix can't catch up. In the
That's
top side, that's
true.
Renekton. So if Kha'Zix jumps in, the stun connects, and
Nako.
Renekton goes away. So I'm not
Yes.
sure where Kha'Zix is going to go. It's going to be a difficult time for them.
Exactly, but of course, it's time for game number 2. Is this going to be a 2-0 for UA1, or can TSKR take this to a game number 3? Infi, Poppy, kayo na!
Here
Okay.
we go. Game 2. UA1 on match point. One game away to take the series down. As we start things off with TSKR2 and even UA1's draft, a little bit of a coin flip of an unexpected champion pool.
Yes, medyo unique siya eh, in a sense of, a proper or traditional lineup. Pero looking here naman, they seem kinda, comfort pick siguro nila ng TSKR tong ginawa nila dito. But then again, in a matter of perspective or actually late game, they win. Since both Jax and Smolder is really good late game picks. Especially with Jax with AP build. That is a very devastating para sa kanila. But then again, Gnar here, playing by MSF France, is really well known actually sa paglalaro niya ng Gnar dito. Pero now looking here, they're really trying to, save it until the mid game. But then again, the question here is for Envy is how fast can you stack?
Yeah, and I think that will be very difficult for Envy because you have to consider that's Yunara. And yes, we talked about how Yunara is a late game champion, but you also have to consider Yunara has a lot of pokes, and then you also have Melio beside him. So in terms of CCs, you also have Melio's aggressiveness that comes into play.
Yes, tama. Parang ano siya eh, pocket milyo lang siya ngayon dito ni Sleeping Monster, di ba? He's already trying to make it online. But then again, Yunara pick, or Yunara late game as well is not to be slept on. Di
Yeah,
ba?
for sure. And kung titingnan natin, no, Kha'Zix has pat himself more towards the top side of the map,
Ooh.
trying to give that advantage onto Jax. And into the bottom side, it will be France who's just hovering across the board onto a possible play. But so far, Envy with that Sky's Bloom, able to get information, no jungler available for the opposition, so they could still stay safe for now below the turret.
Yes, tama. Pero dito naman, wala naman masyadong invade na nagaganap. Parang ano lang siya, parallel jungling ang ginagawa nila dito. Wala naman sila masyadong ginagawa. Here, Twilight Shroud is really dominating OD here with his Rumble. Medyo hirap nga din naman kasi talaga ang Rumble against a Twilight Shroud or sabi natin Lilia. But then again, looking here, Fen versus Too Hard for J. He's really capitalizing that early game damage from Renekton. Grabe ang pinapakita niya dito. But then again, madaling magbago yan once nakuha niya na ang Dusk and Dawn.
Yeah, and I like your perspective, right? Because the thing is, Renekton always wins if Counter-Strike is used and Renekton is not stunned.
Yes. So basically, paunahan sila dito mag-stun eh. Sinong unang tatamaan? Yung tubo ba o mahahampas ka muna?
Yeah, and kung titingnan natin, Fen has been playing it like in and out of those fights. But
Ooh.
now Franz comes into play on top side of the map where Jax is in danger. Places it under the turret, but he's down low at 200 HP left.
Yes, tama. And he's gonna miss a lot of minion waves doon. At syempre, magkakaroon na sila ng plates doon on the top lane. So, medyo really kind of falling behind na dito. Here, Envy naman is slowly building up his stacks, but still not enough for his second mutation, or sabi niya, second level up ng kanyang Q. So, medyo hirap dito now with the 2 plates left only here. And Fen, wow, grabe na ang gold difference nila dito with almost 200 plus gold na. Pero, medyo lumalaban na dito si OD since he's gonna build AP as well. Huh.
Yeah, and this is what we mentioned a while ago, the strength of UA1.
Yes.
Their macro game is on point, and France has constantly dictated how these matchups are going to go. And what we mentioned during the draft is that Renekton has the early game. So really, UA1 is funding the top side of the map and give that huge advantage onto Fern. But now Stipe Monster has awoken,
Oy.
Envy is in danger, able to go back under the turret, still has his flash available, so he still has that summoner spell advantage to be able to utilize that in terms of danger. But so far, UA1 will not be able to convert into a kill.
Yes, tama. Parang, but the equalizer has been used, so that is a very good, trading fight. Pero yes, you are alive, but then again, if it comes to a team fight, it's really, medyo delay. Delay siya ng konti dito, pero looking here, parang wala pa masyadong. Parang napansin na nila natansya na ng isa't isa na okay, medyo aggressive tong team na to, alam nila yung ginagawa nila, so let's play it safe lang talaga, and they need to get their items real quick, especially with the Jax and the Smolder. They really need to get their core items. But then again, Sleeping Monster is really trying to deny Envy here of his damage.
Franz into the bottom side. That's 3-man dive coming from UA1. A C-Boy now being shredded bit by bit. But we'll be able to return back to safety so far. When was the last time we saw a 5-minute game with no kills so far?
Grabe! 5 minutes na, wala pa rin first blood. Grabe naman. Pero ito na nga, mukhang magkakaroon na tayo potentially here. Hindi, wala. Ano lang sila talagang nag-a-adjust pa sila Mano-mano muna sila Nagmamano-demano muna sila. But then again, dito sa top side, parang salitan lang sila ng may uuwing isa, may babalik na isa. But then again, clearly the winning here is Fen. As of now, with the gold lead and of course, almost building his Blade of the Rune King. Yeah.
And I wonder what Hard would be building towards. Is it Triforce? Is it a Dusk and Dawn? Because you mentioned a while ago that AP Jax, so that can still be considered. But I wonder what the perspective is going to be here for TSKR2. But so far, no first bloods as we keep on mentioning first 6 minutes into the game. Very safe play so far for TSKR2, but Franz might be it. Very low already, but Impressive going to be chased out. Franz used up the ultimate, and now it's Impressive going to be the first blood, getting bitten down by Steeping Monster.
Grabe na, ito na nga, nakuha na nga ng UA1 once again ang first blood, I tell you. Pero ito na, sinakto pa talaga nila sa objective, and the one that's falls down is impressive. That is really impressive for the side of UA1. Pun intended,
Tatanong ko pa lang is that pun intended? What you called it right there. Pero ito, TSKR2, 6 minutes into the game, already lost their jungler, and I think that is something that we really have to keep an eye on, because pag nawala yung jungler, we saw this in game number 1. UA1 is going to capitalize it and get an objective, and so far they have the Rift Herald in their pocket on the hands of France, and this dragon potentially could be contested once again with the Rift Herald being spawned out.
Okay, so medyo madadivert ang attention ng TSKR dito since dinrap na nga nila ang Rift Herald doon sa mid lane, is constantly pushing the mid lane. But then again, the dragon here, the Ocean Drake, is really trying to get picked here, but I think Impressive here is really trying to get... but sadly, no, senor.
Pilot Shroud and Franz going to be chased out, but look at the opposite side. It's Cosmos and Sleeping Monster left unattended, and it will be OD4K who burns them alive, but left alone on his lonesome as well. The trade back is secured, a 2-for-1 trade. The jungler in mid lane gone for TSKR2.
I think this is quite a little bit of nostalgia again. So since the last game, they only had 1 kill from the side of UA1, and now they already have 1. Can they break that cycle of only taking 1 kill here? But then, it's kind of hard kasi hindi sila masyado talaga nag-overextend. They know the limits of their clashes, their engages. See, as you can see here, after they push it, they're gonna back off a little bit, and then once they thought that they were safe, they're gonna go back in again, as you can see.
Yeah, and I think once again for TSKR2, we mentioned this during game number 1. What they really have to take note of is their macro and their map awareness. I think if they're going to go for an all-in into a certain team fight, they have to go all in together.
Yes, but never mind. Nagkamali tayong dalawa. Hindi siya nag-Daskin doon. Hindi rin siya nag-Triforce. Nag-Divine Sunderer siya. So he is going to be a little bit of a bruiser Jax here. So, tama naman kasi may sustain siya ng bibigay. But then again, is he gonna transition to an AP build ba? Or a little bit more on the physical side?
Yeah, big question mark so far. I mean, these teams and these players can go anywhere that they want to go to. And Renekton with that BRK also opting to be a bruiser type of frontliner later down the road into those certain team fights. But Poppy, TSKR2 once again on a deficit. What do they have to do to be able to turn things around?
I think they need to shut down Sleeping Monster here, especially Twilight Shroud, since they are the ones that, really dictating the game so far. But then again, if they survive the mid-game, I think 11 or to 12-minute mark and going to the late game, Smolder and Jax can really deal a huge amount of numbers, especially when targeted against a Sleeping Monster with no escape a little bit. And of course, the burn from the Envies, Smolder is really good as well once he reached his stacks fully. But now, impressive here with the damage. He can really prioritize that. Isolate.
That is really, really good. Patience there coming from Impressive. Jumps onto a Cosmos to get that kill. And so far, even Fen as well on top side of the map, bleeding out as well. So Too Hard is able to really put a pressure on top side of the map, but looking at it as well on that replay.
Grabe. The boy who called bug.
Yung cockroach lumilipad.
Kaya nga eh. Pero now, grabe, nag-iiba na yung lamesa eh. Umiikot na.
Impressive hunting.
Ayun na! Grabe!
Onto Fen. An absolute play coming in from Impressive as well, but France just shadowing on top side of the map as well, alongside Melio. Impressive now in danger. It's a 2v1 situation.
Another?
Jumps over the wall, and now it's C-Boy who opted to go for the defense play, but would not be enough. Now France is on the chase. C-Boy in danger, but will opt to back away as UA1 able to trade out already on top side of the map with Jungler traded for top side.
Grabe. Pero grabe naman pinakita dito ni Impressive. Unti-unti na siya nagkakaroon ng damage. As you can see, 2 shutdowns ang nakuha niya. So, 2 items na agad pagbalik niya doon or pag-spawn niya ulit sa base. And now, a little bit of online na kailangan niya na magbigay ng space para sa team niya dito. Especially if na-target niya dito si either Twilight Shroud or si Sleeping Monster. Kasi they really need to shut down Sleeping Monster here. Kasi almost 3 items na dito si Yunare. And of course, Milio here, that's a very good pick-off kanina na ginawa nyo. Medyo nabawasan ang damage quality dito ng pinakita ng ating Sleeping Monster here. But then again, first Baron's gonna spawn up here. Renekton is really, already in here.
But the sun comes through. Fen now eyes onto Impressive.
As you can see.
What a sun. And now no more jungler left for TSKR2.
My God, there's no another jungle, so there's possibly a free Baron here for the side of UA1, but then again, Smolder or Jax can, a slim chance to force steal, but yeah, they're not gonna go for it. Oh, they might, but France here is a really good smite.
Yeah, UA1. They have done this in game number 1. Kill the jungler, go for objectives, and boy, oh boy, we run it back, baby.
Yeah, it's kind of like a deja vu moment here once again. Now, another double objective here, take note. Double objective is gonna take another one for the side of UA1. So, the gold difference and from the Drake difference is really, a huge gap now at this point. Impressive is really going in for the first. He needs to adjust his playstyle. Maybe let the Ornn go first, or let OD go first. Then try to pick off the back line. But then, now, as you can see, the invade here now is really clear. Oh, they can't do anything about it.
They're fighting. Call of the Forge God, casted, bumps onto France, has the eyes on him. Smolder, ultimate, casted as well, but opts to back away. That is the smart choice. Impressive! Jumps over the wall, back to safety. Sleeping Monster has awoken, and now France comes through as well, hoping for that chase, hoping for that kill. But TSKR2 is too fast. It's able to return back to safety on skate from UA1.
Yeah, but then again, they really have no choice because UA1 cleared out the blue side of TSKR's jungle. So now, Impressive here is gonna have a hard time, scaling and getting his items back up again. And now Yunara, as we can see here, Sleeping Monster really did a damage on the Ornn and almost killing Impressive as well there later on. But now, see, the only problem here is why they always build Ornn with first of, the health items. They should really build, like a Bramble Vest first.
I mean, that's possible, right? Considering that they have, or well, UA1 has the Milio and also the Renekton. I think Bramble Vest could potentially work. But maybe a different direction. C-Boy wants to be able to prolong himself onto those team fights, on the laning phase as well. Impressive finds an isolated target as Twilight Shroud goes for the phase check, but opts the back way for both sides.
Yep. Okay, so medyo relax lang tayo. Oh, napatay siya ng off-cam kill. Napatay siya ni Twilight Shroud. Impressive. Going down once again. And now 2 towers are already getting picked off here. Only the middle tower na lang ang natitira dito. And now they are going in for the invade. Sleeping Monsters already awakened. Once again na nga dito, walang magawa dito ang side ng TSKR. Kundi tawagin na ang nanay nyo, sabi nga ni MB, di ba? Nagtawag na siya ng nanay niya eh, kaso wala talagang nagagawa kahit nanay niya eh.
Wala pang damage.
Oo.
With a Man Immune and the Triforce, that is still not enough here to fight up against UA1. But UA1 looks to pressure on mid lane. They want that tier 2 turret to gain an advantage onto the next objective.
Ooh.
Brought down to half HP already, but TSKR2 can't do nothing.
Nag-transform na dito si MSF Franz with his Gnar. Pero wala talagang magagawa kasi 2 tanks or 2 walls ang nakaharang talaga dito ngayon dito. Impressive is really trying to, find the silver lining para makapasok doon sa backline. But then again, will be enough damage ba ang kanyang magagawa towards the backline? Kaso, but then again, sobrang lambot din niya eh. And of course, with the 2 items, wala pa siyang third item. And now, they already have the third item para dito kay Sleeping Monster. And now, wala na eh. Buo na yung core items na dito. Actually, pwede na nga siya ata mag 2v5 eh.
Possible. Diba? May Lord Dominic sa siya, pero dito si Fen looking for that dive. Dominus already casted. Stunts onto Envy, but
See?
too fast, too quick. But Sleeping Monster, he doesn't need to even engage. Just shoots up his opponents from the back end and deals so much damage. And now OD4K is down low. Has to reset.
Yes, and now they're slowly backing off. I think they need to go here for a Baron, but they really try to prolong it here a little bit. Maybe they're trying to give chance to TSKR, make the game longer, diba? Pero
I mean, we're already 15 minutes. If 14 minutes is game number 1, we're already at a better position here for game number 2.
Pero dito, as you can see here, medyo sama-sama na sila. They really trying to protect Envy here. OD and C-Boy really trying to give, Envy the stacks that he needed. Because he is the one that's going to provide a stable, like a barrier for the UA1 that they need to watch about. But then again, Sleeping Monster with the Yunara, especially Yunara late game, is really hard hitting. As you see, the range as well is really huge, diba? Compared for the Q of Envy here with his Smolder. But then again,
Impressive. Ben with a stun, follows up by Hard4J. But Counter-Strike will not connect. Fen picked off a little bit. Dragon will come through to UA1, gets the soul already. TSKR2 cannot fight this. There's no more value into staying, but Lilith Lullaby on to Rumble. Only 4K in danger already. But with the flash, he's able to retreat. And now Gnar, ultimate flash. And now, isolated too! And B is brought down. UA1 gets the man advantage. TSKR2 has to retreat back to safety. And UA1, time and time again, able to find value in those team fights.
Grabe talagang minando niya MSF Prams eh. Nag-transform na nga siya doon. Tinulak niya sa pader yung tatlo. Wala na nagawa yung iba eh. Although, munti ka pa nga siya mamatay. Kaso, wala eh. Masyado na siyang makunat. Marami na siyang items. Nag-transform pa siya. Ang dami pa niyang follow-up with Twilight Shroud and Sleeping Monster on the backline. Starting hitting the frontline. Talagang walang nagawa si C-Boy dyan eh. Talagang kahit pogi ka pa pre, wala kang magagawa.
Ganun ba yun?
Oo!
Ganun pala yun, no? Kahit pogi ka, wala kang magagawa. Poppy 2026. Pero ang ganda ng pinakita doon na Franz.
Yes.
That flash, Gnar ultimate, into the wall, onto 2, that was so good coming in from UA1, and I think that showcases the macro and micro play and capability of UA1 all throughout this series so far. And Lilith Lullaby once again onto OD4K, bleeding himself down already with that Leandri. R4J with a counter-strike off the back away back to his teammates. And UA1 is knocking onto the base of TSKR2.
Yeah, kumakatok na sila. Tao po, papasukin niya na po kami dahil gusto na namin makuha ang isa pang puntos para sa side ng UA1. Pero ito na, basag na ang lahat ng inhibitors dito. Medyo nanganganib na sila dahil, oy, pumasok pa nga, hindi pa nga dito tapos ang laban. Ito na, it's do or die. Isusuko nyo na ba ang ating Nexus o ilalaban pa natin ng isa pa? That is a good counter-strike dito. Pero sadly, wala na siya magagawa. Sleeping Monster has already been awakened. And now, that is game number 2 for the side of UA1.
UA1 takes the series down 2-0, clean sweep up against TSKR2. Clean, calm, and collected.
Yes, clean, calm, and collected. Grabe yung pinakita. Kasi ang ganda nga ang ngiti dito ni MSC Friends eh. Parang alam niya na eh. Di ba?
Oh, predicted.
Predicted niya. Di ba? Siya lang yung nakangiti sa buong team lineup nila.
Yun talaga. Ano siya?
Happy kid.
Oh, happy kid. Special siya. Nung ginawa niya dun sa mid lane kanina. Woo!
Grabe. Of course, the set na ginawa niya sa 3-man ult with his Gnar. And as you can see here, talagang hinahayaan niya yung team niya to do the damage. And he's the one, actually taking up the damage from the TSKR here. As you can see from the results of the highlights kanina. Pero that is a good pick off. Impressive, did an impressive job, but not impressive enough for them to take the win. But here, the last fight, andito talaga nagkataos eh. Diba? Si Fen, talaga inuna niya na yung Nexus ng TSKR here.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because the thing is, like, TSKR2's draft is a little bit all over the place. I get the perspective that they want to do a bit of that unorthodox kind of pick, but Kha'Zix is always good if he gets an isolated fight. But UA1 consistently, even from what we saw in game number 1, they're always together and they're always playing as a team. And with that in mind, how can you get pickoffs from early to late game?
Yes, but then again, dalawa yung pader na nakaharang. Actually, gawin na nating tatlo eh. Kasi Sleeping Monster has Milio, has Gnar. Of course, meron pa tayong buhay na si Renekton. As you can see now, congratulations, Twilight Shroud, di ba? With his, lullaby, napakaganda ng engage niya rin na binibigyan. Of course, the range that Milio gives for your Yunara, kung papasok ka palang, bawas ka na eh. Especially impressive with the dives as well. Well, at enough eh. Ang nagagawa niya kahit isolated pa, sabihin natin isolated, wala eh, mahirap na. May sustain na rin kasi si Yunara. Gawa na nga na kanyang mga items. And of course, Milio with the heals as well. Then yeah, it's a very messy, a little bit messy lineup. Messy comp, but then again, yeah, good results to the UA1 win.
Yeah, overall, once again, emphasizing the fact that UA1 had a phenomenal micro and macro play.
Yeah.
Phenomenal indeed. And honestly, I didn't expect na ganito ka one-sided yung match natin for just match number 1. Because again, we know these two teams. We've seen these players and again, what they can do. But I don't know, something is in the cards today for UA1. And I have to give to them, they didn't leave any stones unturned. Everything just looked perfect. They executed perfectly. They were very disciplined when it came to these team fights. And I just have to say, like, such a good job to them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think from game 1 and game 2, either 2 or 3 deaths lang yung naganap for them for both game 1 and 2.
Right? And of course, it's not a post-game without our winners interview. So let's see who we've got from UA1. Let's see, is it a fade-in or do we have the dual screen this time?
Ayun! Nakita ko na. Grabe. Oh.
It's
Hello!
Cosmos! Hi, Cosmos! Congratulations sa win nyo today. Again, 2-0, grabe. I think yung question ko lang is, na-expect nyo ba na dominant 2-0 yung outcome today?
Siguro po, yes po.
Yes!
Ah!
Bakit
The
yes?
confidence.
Bakit
Confidence.
yes?
Ewan, wala po, masaya lang po ngayon.
The adrenaline.
Happy day!
Ah,
You know,
adrenaline.
flow state and everything. But of course, Infi, baka
Yeah.
may question ka.
Yeah, once again, congrats no, Cosmos. Ako, simple lang yung tanong ko, Cosmos, no, nung draft, lagi niyong binaban yung Zillion, pati yung Morgana. At gusto ko lang matanong, meron bang dahilan kung bakit itong dalawang champion yung ayaw na ayaw niyong makalaban dito sa series na to?
Yung kalaban po yung nagbaban nun.
Ay,
TSKR bad.
TSKR ban.
Yeah.
So ikaw pala yung kinakatakutan nila, no?
Si Cosmos ang kinakatakutan.
Oo, pero
Yeah.
ito, on the same line, ba't nga ba nila kailangan katakutan ang Zillian at Morgana ng isang Cosmos?
Walang mamamatay sa team niya.
Wala.
Mabubuhay siya ni Mama.
Oh!
Sorry.
Okay. So ito naman, ang question ko naman is, gaano ka dugo or sabi natin gaano kahirap ang pinaghandaan nyo? How much did you guys prepare for this tournament?
Hindi ko nga rin po siya, parang ganda lang po yung
Ay!
ginawa namin.
Sabi ni.
Wow. Natural.
Natural. Ano na yan eh. Kumbaga, context knowledge na yan, di ba? Stock knowledge, di ba? Okay.
Opo, yung sa mga nakaraang tournament na din po.
Alright, so na-stack up yung experience. So again, another day in the office, and
Yeah.
that's really good kasi you're gonna need that, yung consistency na yun all throughout split 2 and to the end of Wild Rounds. Pero before you go, Cosmos, may gusto ka bang i-shout out or any
Yes.
message to those supporting you?
Ayan. Shoutout sa mga BFF ko dyan, sa mga nasa server ko, kay Sir Luis, mga BFF ko dyan.
Uy.
Saka sa UAPH po.
Oh.
Yan.
Thank you po sa mga pag-support.
There we go. Thank you again, Cosmos. Again, congratulations. And of course, keep up the consistency and looking forward kami sa next game nyo.
Yes.
Congratulations!
Congrats.
po. Thank you po.
Wow.
Again, Cosmos, again, this is why they banned the supports, right? He's just such a good player. And if it's been always the junglers who've been dictating the games, I think Cosmos is that one support that you really have to look out for.
Yes.
Carry ng
Yeah,
ng
and
UA1.
I think historically speaking din, ang taas ng KDA niya, and that's being a support as well. So really nagagampanan niya yung role niya as a support, and we saw, right, even during the interview, even in the games, bakit kailangan maban yung Zillian at Morgana. Walang mamamatay sa
Kaya
kamay
walang
niya.
mamamatay sa team ko pag binigay nyo sa akin yung Zillian na yan. Sinasabi ko sa inyo.
But of course, that is just going to be our first match of the day. I think it's pretty early before we move on to match number 2. But we're going to be going on a very, very short break. Of course, we've got match 2 and 3 coming up. But don't go anywhere because Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open, we'll be right back.
The earth hides many secrets. Let's shake things up. Every stone weaves a different story.
witness my might.
Feel my speed. Speeding up. The Earth hides many secrets. Let's shake things up! Every stone weaves a different story.
Welcome back, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao dito sa Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open. And of course, we are jumping into our second match of the day. But of course, before everything, ako nga pala si Rubixo. We're back here on the desk together with my lovely co-talents over here, Poppy and Infinity. And guys, quick match number 1. We're going straight into match number 2. How are you feeling about today?
Ooh, adrenaline is rushing through. Series number 1 was swift. It was really fast.
Yes.
My expectation is that we're going straight. Series 2, Series 3 going to be fast as well.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe.
Well,
Crossing
definitely
fingers.
I might
Crossing
jinx.
fingers.
I might
diba?
have jinxed it already.
Crossing fingers. Ayun na yung code. Guys,
Oh,
yung
special
code, eto
code.
na.
Screenshot.
Diba? Ilagay dito sa pusa. Ilagay sa pusa.
Pusa. Put,
Sa pusa. Sa pusa.
dapat
Dapat dito, di ba sa pusa?
Fire, ganyan.
Oo, para nakagayon
yan.
siya. Oo, yan, gumagalaw.
W prod.
Charan! Okay.
Ayan. Ina-align.
Ayan,
Perfect.
dyan na.
W
Done.
prod.
But of course, guys, this code is screenshotted.
Yes.
First come, first serve, by the way. So if someone redeems this code, that is it. But of course, we have a lot of codes showing up throughout the stream today. So guys,
For
eyes peeled on the screen. Map awareness.
eyes.
Map awareness.
Killing my eyes.
Literal, no? But of course, like you said, I feel like it might also be a very fast day today. Kasi nakita natin, UA1, very dominant match
Yes.
number 1. And of course, we're seeing them again dito sa match number 2 against HRiP. So the question is, can they repeat that performance or is HRiP gonna switch things
I
up?
mean, at this point, we double jinxed it already, so I don't know. Things maybe change, like 0-2 or something.
Oh no! 0-2!
Sino ang 0-2? Ang tanong, sino ang magiging 0-2?
Good question.
HRiP Esports ba or UA1? Baka akala nyo mag-2-1.
I
Oy!
don't know.
Ayun na,
I feel,
nag-2-1.
ako personally, I feel like I'm now converted as a UA1
UA1
believer. I think that yung performance nila, hindi mo ma-deny the
Yeah, for
absolute
Since
control
day 1.
that they had on that first series. But of course, moving on, we're going to be talking about our lineup again for UA1. No changes here. It's going to be the same players that we've had. And
Yes.
again, Cosmos, one of the players na I think a lot of people just
Alright.
forget to look out for. I would say that TSKR did a good job banning out his champions, but again, the other individual talents ng UA1, they're all very good. You can't, parang there's no holes that you can pick out.
Say, in fact, like stats for the viewers watching at home, like Cosmos historically has the most KDA, and that's collectively we're in with kills and assists over their deaths.
Yeah.
I think Cosmos has been playing it so well all throughout Wild Rounds Pilipinas, and I think that deserved the Zillion and Morgana ban all throughout the past series. And I wonder what HRiP is going to do here this
Yes.
time around.
That's right. And of course, you know, for this matchup, HRiP and UA1, we did see them yesterday. And of course, today, it's kind of like finishing off group C. Group C.
Group C.
There's so many HRiP,
number C.
TSKR, UA1, atomic
So
letters,
much
guys.
teams, right?
But of course, we're wrapping up Group C. And of course, these are the last two teams to determine who is going to become our second seed. So again, a lot is on the line here
Yeah.
for these two teams. So they really want to make sure that they close it out here.
Second seed, Group C, a lot of teams, TSKR2,
Yes.
UA1.
There's information overload. But again, I think personally, although there's like an information overload, I like the fact that we have so many teams here at Valorant Pilipinas Open, so many players. And again, speaking of players, we're reintroducing UA1 again. Cosmos, Sleeping Monster, Twilight Shroud, MSF Friends, and Fen. Again, all of them amazing, amazing players.
Yeah, need no introduction. They have shown us greatness in Series number 1, and they're here to play once again. I mean, Sleeping Monster was an absolute beast in Series 1. My question is, can HRiP really match that kind of aggression and methodical playstyle?
Well, from what I see, Ninja Cat, nakita ko na siya maglaro before And he's one of...
Isa ba siyang ninja?
Yes, literal.
And a cat
Gago
at
siya.
the same
Cat.
time.
Yeah.
Pusa din siya. But at the same, guys, I'd say this team has a lot of aura. At the same time, if you guys saw,
The lineup is good.
yung
Yeah,
top
it
lane, yung top lane nila, yung pangalan niya,
Yeah.
League playing League of Legends Wild Rift.
Tama.
I
Grabe.
think this game was made for him.
Leagueception. Sorry,
Yeah.
naglalaro pa kami ng laro ko. Diba?
May
Exactly.
league, may ninja na pusa, may G1.
Yes!
Kung may
Grabe.
G2, may G1.
Yeah,
Game
the
1.
original.
The original, the OG.
Yeah, but of course, as you can see sa predictions, na-convert na kami ni Infi as
Since
UA1
day
UA1
one,
supporters.
ako yan Ako yan Ayan yung makikita niya. Ako yan! And then actually, UA1, UPH ang nagpa-convert sa inyo. Sa gameplay nila.
Yes.
Diba?
Very true, very true. And I really hope na, again, Cosmos said earlier, they're just happy. It's a
Yeah,
normal day for them.
Yeah.
And I really hope that they can keep up yung consistency na yon here, regardless of the opponent. But of course, HRiP fighting for that second seed, again, that protection, that extra layer of security, going into our qualifiers, our playoffs qualifiers. The question is, what do you think HRiP can bring to the table?
Yeah, and I think dominance is something that they can bring. Because the thing is, we also have to consider, yes, their series in the past, or I mean yesterday, was a bit unfortunate. They lost against some of these teams, but their KDA has been speaking loudly, especially on the Ninja Cat and G1. You mentioned about this
Yes.
player that has shown a lot of dominance. And I think if there's any team that can try to bring down this methodical UA1 comp, it can possibly be HRiP.
Yes. I think here, based on the draft here, I saw him play an assassin. So maybe they're leaning towards, banning an Akali, possibly? Or maybe they're just, like a flat, they're gonna stick to their usual bans, since, I mean, we all know, we already stock a player. When when you're gonna fight them, you can't blame me for that. You always gonna stock the player, what's their best champs, how they play their play style, diba?
On top of that, my website tayo.
Yes.
In the break,
All
if
stats.
napansin nyo,
All stats.
during the break, we have this QR code here on the bottom of the screen, and you can also search it online as well for Wildlands Pilipinas Open. If you want to see the stats ng bawat player for each team, you guys can look it up. You can see their win rate, the
Yes.
champions that they pick, and of course, their entire team performance. So, a lot of useful information for our audience and also our teams here who
Yeah.
want to research their opponent.
And just look at the bottom side, right? The bannings, the champion pickups, right? These are really, really good stats that the viewers can take note of. I mean, doubly prod. But so far, I think what we're seeing right now are some of the priorities in the bans. You have Vi, Poppy, you have Gwen, and Abessa removed across the
Ooh.
board. If UA1 is not gonna ban away the Lee Sin, it can potentially get picked up by HRiP or do a double bluff here and pick up the Renekton themselves if they want to have that early game topside.
Right, and I think, very quickly, HRiP has been watching the broadcast.
Yeah.
They saw the
They
Poppy,
saw the Poppy, the
Yunara.
Yunara.
They're doing their research, so
Yeah.
making sure that they don't have a part 2 of what happened
watching.
earlier.
Yes, and now they're gonna pick the Ezreal now. Oh, parang sila naman
Renekton, maybe I think these are good options for UA1.
I think, yeah, there are good options for UA1 here to pick another Renekton. But then again, nakita na kasi yung gameplay niya eh. Kumbaga parang, there's no shock value na makikita doon. Oh, never mind, I spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's not about. I don't think it's about the shock factor, right? And I think that has another layer to it. But really, if you want to play it aggressively, especially in the early game, that's what UA1 did a while ago.
Wow.
Renekton and Lee Sin can play it out, but Cho'Gath is also an option. You talked about this a while ago, and we're seeing it once more.
And makikita natin
Yeah.
dito, the silence, the knock-ups, the chomp. Ay, nako. ang daming pwedeng mangyari dito. Ang daming pwedeng gawin ni Cho'Gath dito, especially ng team fight scenario. Since a silence is really devastating for a team fight eh. Especially kung AoE pa yung silence mo and your ult has an execute depende on your stacks that you already have. You can burst down an enemy squishy, a mage. Like I said, an Ezreal or a Lilia can get easily chomped down by a fed Cho'Gath.
Okay, and this is a little bit scary in the bottom side. HRiP is locked in onto a Nautilus as well, alongside an Ezreal. Now, as we all know, in the early game, Nautilus is uncontested in the early game matchup.
Well, he's really tanky. He has a root, he has a hook,
So
and
much
of course,
CC, right?
yeah, so much CC with the depth charge as well. And oh, that is a pretty good counter pick with the Galio as well.
Huh, I wonder.
Very, very tanky here for the side of UA1.
I think ang gagawin nila dito, siguro dadaan nila sa kunat.
I think knowing UA1, I feel like they love their early game, right?
Yes.
Right.
They love their early game. They love pushing their advantages. I think again the Galio will kind of supplement yung Renekton pick again going in for these fights. You have the backup. Of course, kind of a big question mark for the bot lane still. But knowing them, I don't think hindi sila yung type to kind of like forget about something like that.
And UA1 has no damage at all so far.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we have to keep in mind. It's very interesting that HRiP is still opting to ban away the Morgana, because the thing is, if Galio went into the mid lane for UA1 and then there's another layer of support, the only damage dealer that UA1 is going to have would be the AD carry. And HRiP could just opt to go in for maybe like a point-and-click CC into the backside, potentially locking onto this carry potential for UA1. And once that's gone, there's no more damage left for team fights. So I think it's very interesting on like how we're going through the second phase ban.
Yes, I think here a pretty good pick for UA1, especially in the ADC, would be Saya with his ultimate. You know, the Feather Storm can really cancel out a depth charge when ulted by a Nautilus.
Ooh,
wait.
Ooh.
okay.
Ooh.
So
Oh.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Whoa.
But there's a lot of
CC.
short to medium range attacks only. We don't have
Wait.
a lot of hook.
Sivir is really good for UA1.
Is this a
This is
Sivir
an
comp?
all-in type of comp. Renekton,
Yes.
Cho'Gath, Galio, Camille. Once Sivir presses ultimate, everyone's just gonna rush through. And HRiP, you have to keep in mind, so far in terms of this lineup, only Nautilus can stand at the face of UA1. They need another frontliner to be able to tank for HRiP.
So what would be the pick here for the last one? I think a pretty good pick here would be either Set. Actually, Set.
No! They have the tank now. They have a second
Well,
wall.
They heard you.
Oh, because this is not... Okay. Okay, you know what? I love it.
Yeah,
we're doing such a coin flip for both these sides. And I'm loving what we're saying.
Oh! Here we go. Oh,
They need a
change
backliner.
your mind. Yeah, he changed his mind.
Mm,
We need an ADC. Oh, I think he's gonna go for an AP carry.
not sure how I'm feeling about
Okay.
this. Again, I don't
So
think we have
Ziggs.
that consistent damage here.
Wait, so
For
it's a
UA1.
Is it the Camille or Cho'Gath jungle? And then Renekton top?
I
Ziggs into
think
the
this is
bottom
going to
lane?
be a... Yeah, I'm right. So it's going to be a Camille jungle. Oh, wait, never mind.
Camille, Renekton... Wait, what?
Oh, so
This
it's
is
Cho'Gath
so
Cho'Gath
well-
ADC.
But...
I
Huh.
mean, new Cho'Gath tech. Again, AP carries.
Yeah.
AP carries.
Look, we've been converted to UA1. Trust!
Yeah, we got on this
Trust
train.
in the
We're staying on the train.
Okay, so they have no ADC, but the only range that they have is the root for Cho'Gath, then the bombs that Twilight can send out, especially the nukes, but then again they have Ezreal.
But yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna talk about, right? You had the Galio, you had the Cho'Gath, and their opponent is an Ezreal and a Nautilus. Cho'Gath cannot farm in what, first 5 minutes of the game?
Yes.
I don't know. This feels like a really big question mark for UA1, but I like surprises.
Color me
So,
impressed.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys like surprises? I like surprises.
I like surprises.
Right? So I think this is a surprise for everyone, even for our audience. So we're going to see what UA1 could be cooking up here. But of course, for the side of HRiP, again, I'd say they have a pretty solid comp. I like it's a very, very colorful comp. A lot of questions are answered. And so it's honestly, I think, a bit of a mystery to me. But of course, I'm going to pass it off to you guys. So, Infi, Poppy, have fun.
Yes, grabe.
Have fun!
Yeah, talagang magsasaya kami dito dahil sobrang unique eh. Napaka-unique ng pick dito ng UA1, especially with the lineup na pinakita dito ng HRiP with the Sion, with the Lilia, and of course here, grabe. Oh, I think I'm right. Oh, no. Yeah, I think it's Cho'Gath mid actually. Oh, I think we're gonna hear for an early, possible? Okay, alala. Parang ano lang eh, testing the waters lang muna sila.
Is it a switch in lane?
I don't know.
We're going back to classic Wild Rift once again. Year 1, baby. Wherein we have the duo going into the mid lane. I am loving it.
Yes, I'm right. It's an APC, but now here, let's see. Now, going inside. Ito na nga, mukhang magkakaroon tayo ng early clash dito. Uy, pero I think, wow, okay, so Ezreal is really doing a huge number here on Twilight. But then again, he needs his items muna to be able to online. Then again, we can ignore the damage that Ziggs can provide to us. Di ba? But now, medyo relax lang tayo eh.
This is a bit difficult because even if we're talking about like a switch in lanes, having the Cho'Gath into the bottom side of the map, Ninja Cat would be free farming all throughout the early game phase.
Yes. Actually, both. Yung dual lane sa baba is both farming for the stacks.
Yeah, it's just able to stack because of the skills, and I think Sleeping Monster perspective, if he wants to deny a little bit of that stack, he has to wait for that knock-up. If ever that Ninja Cat really goes for that reading skill that he has for S1, that's where he uses the knock-up. That's where he uses the silence to be able to just deny a bit of that stack.
Yes, tama. So, the stats na pinapakita dito, medyo aggressive. Dito ang pinapakita ng ating Monspeed, di ba? Si Nautilus, he just really trying to provide range here. While here, Friend is really trying to bully the Sion or League, as we say. Nga naman, di ba? And he's actually doing pretty good dito sa mga kanyang trade. He knows when to pop his shield. He knows when to knock up. And of course, Twilight is running low a little bit on mana. Pero, then again, he just needs to recall, get the boots, and of course build up. Now G1 is really trying to process the poking, to build up. And it's actually building a crystal tier dito para makabuild siya agad ng, early stacks para sa kanyang Manamune.
Yeah, and I think that is good for G1, building onto the Manamune, eventually opting to go for maybe like a Triforce or even the Essence Reaver. It really depends on what build he wants to go for. But the thing is, like, G1 opting to go for the tiers really just dictates that they cannot overextend their welcome because that's a Galio, that's Ziggs, but here into the bottom side.
Pero grabe na nga dito, pinakita. Uy, nako, binagsakan na nga ng Meteor. Will that be enough? Silence ka muna daw dyan. Sabi nga naman yung Sleeping Monster. And wow, Sleeping Monster is actually the one playing Cho'Gath. He's not the one who's using an ADC.
Yeah, and dito sa replay, the summary is kinagat siya ng Cho'Gath.
Grabe, kinagat siya ng Cho'Gath. So that gives us one stack, and now he needs to stack. Gaya nga nasabi ni Coach Rek kahapon, di ba? The way Cho'Gath works is, stack ka muna ng 5 beses sa minions, and now you can champ on the rest from the farms and syempre, mga iba pang enemy champions. So we might see the biggest Cho'Gath yet on this game.
Yeah, I mean, that early stack, especially as soon as he hit level 5, as soon as he gotten his ultimate, he got a stack onto Ninja Cat, not even minions. So he still has 5 possible stacks onto minions and even neutral creeps or neutral mobs for jungle camp. So I think that's really, really good here for Sleeping Monster to be able to stack. And I think the perspective for both sides here is to go for a little bit of that late game. You have Ninja Cat as that late game investment for HRiP, and UA1 has the investment onto Cho'Gath for that late game.
Yes, like I said na nga nito, pero magkakaroon ata tayo dito ng clash sa ating mid lane here with MCS France with his Camille. He's very good with the hooks, the lineups of the hooks dito. Para siyang si Ackerman ng Attack on Titan, di ba? Kung makita natin. Pero medyo lang sila dito. Testing the waters pa rin sila dito sa kanilang mid lane dahil there's still nothing much that can deal a significant amount of damage. Pero doon natin sa River doon, medyo nahuli si Fendon. Pero nakatakas naman siya. Yeah, nakatakas naman siya doon dahil medyo mababa pa ang damage na binibigay ng ating Lilia Deer. Pero kasi since AP naman siya, wala din na siya masyadong magagawa. But now, here G1 is really good at poking.
Yeah, and good adaptability for League as well. If we're looking at the items, right? You have the Bramble Vest already picked up by League. Just to deny a little bit that sustain coming from Fen, especially now that we have the ultimates readily available for both sides. Once that Dominus hits up, you can deny a lot of that sustain.
Yes, indeed. Pero as you can see here, Ninja Cat is literally just farming stacks from Sleeping Monster here. But then again, di ba? Once you get low enough HP, especially kung on a later game na, it's gonna cut into half. You can literally see him just chomp down at the middle health of an enemy squishy and just killing it with a tank build, by the way.
Yeah, it's really good for Ninja Cat building onto that Sax. We mentioned this a while ago, and that is the advantage of just having that mage up against a melee kind of bruiser champion into the bottom side of the map. And that's kind of like how Sleeping Monster has to keep up with the knock-up and also the silence, deny a lot of these
Okay.
farming.
Yes, tama ka dito. Pero akala ko magkakaroon siya ng follow-up dito. But then again, still early game. Wala pa masyadong damage ang ating Ziggs dito. Dahil he's still building up his damage. Nga naman. While looking here in the top lane, medyo nagsisimula ng bulihin dito ni Fen, si League here. But then again, he has a Bramble na dito to counter the BRK, hopefully. But then again, will that be sufficient enough to counter it? But now, Galio?
Yeah,
Okay.
Monspeed.
Oh, yun, nagkita sila pero pinalo ng angkla pero na nga pumasok na nga dito sa MS France and the bombs is gonna be dropped na medyo wala lang. Konting ano lang testing na, walang namatay, nagbagsakan lang sila ng mga abilities nila and now they're going here for an Infernal Drake. Okay, so this is going to be a trade.
Yeah, they can't fight it.
Yeah.
HRiP, in terms of team fighting potential, the only one that they have is Monspeed, right? And Monspeed already used the depth charge onto Cosmos, but here in a fight, topside.
Eto na nga dito sa top side na nga dito, binagsakan na nga ng palakol. Lahat na nagbabagsakan dito. Sinusubukan nilang habol si Lilia dito. But then again, the Crocodile just ate the deer out of here of existence. Pero ito na nga, babagsakan pa nga ng Meteor Strike. Dito, grabe nga naman. Si Sion na lang ang natitira doon. League is doing his best to push the enemy back away. And of course, they are going to take this referral. O talaga na sila eh. Nag-swap lang sila eh ng objectives here.
Yeah, that was really close as well. But HRiP has taken down the Rift Herald on that team fight. It was a 2-for-1 trade. When we're looking at it back, it was Villa Teams who was taken down and Fen was taken down as well. But the problem was that it was UA1 who was low in HP already, coming in from the Drake objective, opting to go for the Rift Herald, and just staying across the board. And then you have Cho'Gath left down into the bottom lane. UA1 is fighting a man disadvantage team fight. And that just placed them to their demise.
Yes, indeed. Pero actually, maganda din ang pinakita dito. Since Cho'Gath is the one who ate the dragon, he's gonna get a lot of stacks from it. And they really trying to funnel the objectives towards Cho'Gath so they can have 2 smites on their team. So, in case na MSF France, missed the smite, they still have Cho'Gath here to do the finishing job. Diba? Since depende pa rin sa stacks niya. And then again, medyo nag-swap na tayo ng lane dito. They are now on the top side. Pero still, they're still on the mid side. Wala pa rin masyado nagkakabigayan dito. Ez is has still not died yet. Even Ziggs is still not died yet. So, pero dito mukhang babagsakan nata ulit ang Meteor dito. Okay, Galio is coming out here. Okay, parang wala naman masyadong ganap. Pero I think, yeah, sinusubukan nila dito kunin yung Scuttle. Yeah, he's gonna get Scuttle. HRiP is gonna get that Scuttle down. Looking here in the mid lane. Uy! Naku, nahuli! Dito, si Twilight Shroud. Will that be enough to follow up though? Pero ito na nga, si Kronos coming in to back his friends up. Okay. MSF France? Okay, wala masyado.
Yeah. And I think from here on forward, we have to always and consistently keep an eye on what France is going to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because he would be the starter pack of UA1 who starts up a fight and sets up a play. And the one Hextech ultimatum onto either G1 and Ninja Cat, and that is just huge damage and a thorn to the side of HRiP. Right? Especially that Ninja Cat, when he's dealing damage, he is immobile.
Ooh.
And that is an opportunity for UA1 to pounce them. And France is really the one that can dictate how these fights are going to go. So keep an eye on France, on what he is going to do, and how Cosmos would navigate these engages, especially if a hero's entrance is available.
Yes, indeed. Pero now, looking here, medyo ano na sila eh. They know now, or HRiP already has a grasp of how UA1 plays towards a specific in the map. Kasi they don't really see that much of MSF France. Talagang bigla-bigla na siya nagpapapat out of nowhere eh. Hindi mo siya basta-basta makikita eh. Now, so they're trying to play it safe, especially G1 here, just slowly trying to make his items go back up. While here, Cho'Gath is consistently getting his stacks up with his ultimate, eating. While here dito, kanina pa sila naglalaban dito, parang stalemate pa sila at this point eh. Pero now, makikita natin dito, they are trying to invade the blue buff. Coming in, MSF France, nahuli na nga dito ang enemy jungle. Pumasok na nga dito si Galio, Heroes, a rival. Nagbabagsakan na nakuha na niya ng blue buff dito. Pero that is a very satisfying knock-up. Once again, hindi pa katapos ang laban dito. Sino ba ang unang matutumba? And now, Ezin is gonna go down. G1 is gonna go down here. Ito na nga, nag-ultimate na nga dito. Uy, naku, nahuli! Grabe yun, nahuli pa siya. Double kill though for the side of UA1. Grabe, it's a 2-for-1 situation.
And this is what we mentioned, right?
Woo!
France will be the starter pack, and that he did, followed up by Cosmos, and they're really clever on their thinking as well. They're very quick on their feet. Look at G1 getting chased down as well later down the road. Specifically onto France. Yes, this knockup was really fantastic coming from League, but look at Fan. He went into the backside, stunts onto G1, next was Villatames. The knockup was there consistently coming in from Sleeping Monster as well. That gave a huge advantage to UA1 that netted them a 3-for-1 trade.
Yes, grabe. Ang ganda ng kanilang consistency and the synergy of the teams is really there. You can really see it on how they work, on how to work on their strengths, their weaknesses. Although medyo nahuli lang si France doon, gawa nga ng, syempre, nakapag skies has fallen yung ating Ninja Cat dito. Pero here, they're trying to burst down Sleeping Monster here. You're really sure that you need to wake up the Sleeping Monster. Galio here is coming down, and of course, another Drake is gonna go for the side of UA1. And now, they're really trying to take this top tower, tier 1 tower.
Yeah. But HRiP, with that possible little engage coming from Ninja Cat and Monspeed, it was really worked. Because they burned Hero's entrance. And Hero's entrance of Galio, the ultimate for the viewers watching at home, of a Galio, takes so long for a cooldown. I think it's like 120 seconds or something. It's like a couple of minutes. So it's really, really good how HRiP is consistently denying out of UA1. And yes, they are at a deficit, but they're really thinking of these ways to be able to deny the summoner spells or these ultimates that has huge value for UA1 team fight potentials.
Yes, you are right. Pero dito natin, makikita na medyo, online na yung damage ng Ziggs, as you can see, with a 3-0 on his name. Twilight Shroud already got 2 items on his belt. Closing in for another item, I think he's gonna go for a Rabadon's Death Cap here. While on the top side naman dito, naku, mukhang mahuhuli naman natin si Sleeping Monster. Will that be enough para makatakas siya? Pero nahuli na nga siya dito ng hook. And grabe, tatlong tao. Pero ito na nga, pumasok na nga Hero's entrance once again. Will that be enough though for them to survive here? Sleeping Monster survive, but then again, will his friend survive? Okay, mukhang maliligtas pa ata nila. Turrets is gonna be safe, pero may burn pa dito mula kay Lilia. Villatines. Ito na ang backup. The cavalry has arrived. Papasok na nga pati si MCS France. Pero uy, tinanggal na nga. Hextech Ultimate is gonna be dropped down and the nuke is gonna go down. Uy, pero G1 almost died from a bomb with Twilight Shroud.
Maybe that was really, really good there coming from UA1. I think it was Ninja Cat, Monspeed. Really good coordination as well, trying to pin down Sleeping Monster. But Cosmos, with that ultimate ready, they jump in onto...
Oy, hindi pa nga natatapos dito. Ninja Cat is blowing his breath away, trying to take out that Twilight Shroud, but then it's not enough.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, and again, Sleeping Monster, Cosmos, good coordination there as well to kind of deny of that kill. And UA1, this is what we mentioned and highlighted for their first series up against TSKR 2. Their macro and micro play is really good. And that was highlighted by Sleeping Monster and Cosmos from that 3v1, 3v2 situation on top side.
Yes. 3v1 situation here. Mukhang they are really slowly moving in for a Baron here. Because that would be a very good pick or a turning table for the HRiP. But then again, if it gets to the hands of the UA1, they're really going to punish the already aggressiveness and the lead that they already have towards the HRiP.
Yeah, it can definitely be an option if any of these two teams can get a pickup. And I think that will be dictated, especially for UA1, again, by France. Cosmos. These two champions with their ultimate coordination would be perfect if they're able to find Villa teams in the next minute or two. And now for HRiP, they just have to do what they do best, like Ninja Cat, Monspeed. These two has always been putting a lot of pressure against their opponents. This might be it as Cosmos gets pinned down.
Pero ito na nga dito, but that double taunt na nga dito. Pero dito na paparating na ang trend, pero hindi pa nga tinamaan. Tapul na. Uy, grabe! That is a good flash! X-Tech Ultimate dropping it on G1 at nahuli na nga siya dito. That is a good pick-off. Wala na silang ADC here. But who is an ADC for the side of UA1? Pero babagsak na nga dito. Fen is gonna go down. That is already 2 kills for the side of UA1. Grabe, oh, hindi pa po tayo tapos dito dahil di pa nagsisimula ang Sleeping Monster is slowly getting awake once again. And he's the only one trying to keep away ang tatlo pang natitira ng side HRP to get the Baron.
And we called it, right? The one that will start it off would be France. Once they pick up one, it's Baron time. And they did just that. And Sleeping Monster, you're a different beast this time around. You might not be an ADC, but that Cho'Gath is a monster.
Yes, indeed. And now that Cho'Gath is very hungry. Na nga, pero dito natin makikita, ang ganda ng replay dito na pinakita niya. Okay. Pero now, they are going here for the Dragon and they are possibly going to have a soul here, which is really good for since they have an Infernal Soul.
Yeah, and it's just HRiP can't do anything, right? They came in from a Baron, they lost a team fight, they lost U1 and Ninja Cat, and UA1 got the Baron. With that reset, they have a bit of that buff. With that strength, a lot of ultimates are already up for UA1. So once they contest it, if they get the Drake, yes, for sure, but they lose a team fight, they lose the game.
Yes, they lose the game here, pero uy, muntikan na nilang makuha dito. Ma-pick off, but then again, sobrang kunat na ni Galio dito dahil meron na siyang Warmogs, meron na siyang Kroken. Basically, anti-AP na ang kanyang binibuild dito. And now, as you can see, Cho'Gath is really huge na. Mas malaki pa siya kay Nautilus eh. Kung makikita natin dito. And of course, he can literally kill an enemy squishy. Pero dito mukhang he's trying his best. Dito medyo magkakaroon ata tayo ng clash dito. Pero bumagsak na nga dito. Asol ult coming down. Nahuli na nga dito si Franz. At unti-unti na silang pinapasok dito ng side ng HRP. Is this the turntables na inaantay ba ng HRP? Pero nope, joke lang.
Monster.
Ito na si Sleeping Monster coming in here. Talagang kinagat! As you can see here, medyo lumaki na naman dito.
Oh, nice!
Ate Sleeping Monster, that is a good engage. Kaso that's not enough to kill. Ito na nga, unti-unti na nga nahabol. Medyo split tayo dito. Pero Dragon is literally trying to play. Ninja Cat is gonna go down. Triple kill for Cosmos. Take note, this is a support that has a triple kill now. And ngayon, G1 is the only one left standing to defend their base here.
They overextended, and now they are punished. G1, the only left standing to defend the base as UA1 looks to finish.
Kapit matatag, pero ito na nga, pumasok na nga dito si Fen, and that is successfully gonna kill, and that is game number 1 for the side of UA1.
And that is the reason why they do not want to contest that soul, because once they lose a team fight with that Baron buff from UA1, it's over. And UA1 PH once again showcased their macro and micro from game 1 up against HRiP in a dominating finish. Whew.
Grabe, that was intense. And of course, medyo nag-doubt tayo ng kanina dahil wala silang ADC pick. Diba? But then again, who needs an ADC when you can kill every one of their teams, diba? Grabe, as you can see here, with the highlights, napakaganda ng mga replays. Of course, with the early kill, the first blood from the Asol, Ninja Cat is the first one to go down, dun nga sa side nila. And of course, sa kanila mga teamfight kanina, hindi sila nag-overextend. They know who to target first. Especially, they targeted G1 since he's the one that can deal the most physical damage towards them. And of course, with the pokes, the dashes. But then again, once the Nautilus fell down, wala na siyang magagawa. Wala na silang frontline. Lilia can't do anything but tank, di ba? He can only put a lullaby on them, hopefully trying to escape.
And for them to be able to do so, it's Franz.
Yeah.
It's Franz and Cosmos who's able to do such a fantastic and incredible job onto finding these key targets. I think that's the innate strength of having a Camille Gallo in your team composition. And kung nanunood kayo ever since the start of Wild Rounds Pilipinas, ito klasiko, El Clasico na tong
Yeah.
combination na to of Camille and Gallo, because if Camille starts up a fight, finds an AD carry or even an AP carry into the back lines with the Hextech Ultimatum, Gallo will follow suit.
Yes, indeed. Galio will be the one who deals the knock-up, the damage. And of course, kanina, 5-0 ang support nila dito. Cosmos. Actually, siya yung naka-triple kill kanina sa last clash nila eh.
Yeah.
So he's the one who dealt the finishing blow towards the target. And of course, ang ganda rin kanina ng hero's arrival niya towards that. At nag-extend kasi ang HRiP there, which results to them losing the game. But now here, we see the MVP of the game, Twilight Shroud.
Yeah, I mean, he played it near perfectly actually. 9 KDA for himself as well with 64% kill participation. He was playing it very safe all throughout the early game phase. But if I'm gonna give like a second MVP, it would be Fen.
Yeah.
His playstyle in those team fights, if France is able to get that lockdown onto G1 or Ninja Cat, if ever they're able to escape, Fen will follow suit into the backlines, get those stuns up, and really just put a punish up against their opponent. And that was highlighted in a couple of team fights that we saw just a while back. And that damage was absolutely insane as well, second only to Twilight Shroud.
Yes, second only to Twilight Shroud. Pero ito na nga, kailangan nilang gawin dito ng HRiP. They need to go back to the drawing board and know how to counter and how to make another draft that can work against UA1. Because as you all know, that failed. Diba? Ang ginawa nila kanina. Although they did very good at the start, but then again, once they had the small miss-up, talaga ni-utilize ng UA1 yon and get the win.
Yeah, it was just the ability of UA1 to adapt into the situation kasi alam nila na Ninja Cat needs so much time to be able to scale. And the thing is, sinabi natin to kanina, for HRiP, they need a frontliner. And League, yes, is a really, really good frontline, but League has constantly been faced with Twilight or Sleeping Monster.
Yes.
Na 1:1. So pag wala si Sion doon sa team fights na yon, it would only be Monspeed, and that just allowed UA1 to carry the game.
Yes, tama. Pero guys, pag kayo magpapauli dahil mayroon pang susunod na laban, di ba? Meron pang round 2. Pero bago yan lahat, magbe-break lang tayo ng saglit na saglit lang, guys. Huwag kayong tatakbo or kahit pupunta. Kumuha muna kayong tubig, bumili kayong popcorn, kahit ano. Basta huwag kayong aalis dahil magbabalik kami in a few minutes. Bye-bye!
The Earth hides many secrets. Let's shake things up! Every stone weaves a different story.
witness my might.
Feel my speed. Speeding up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, dito sa Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open Split 2. And of course, we are in the middle of our second match of the day. And guys, grabe, UA1 again showing us how consistent they are as a team, how dominant they are as a team. But of course, HRiP, this is the chance for them to try and get the series back in their hands and try to push for a game number 3. Pero
Was that a jinx?
I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm just saying it's been a very fast day today. But let's see again. Of course, maybe HRiP can do something because again, parang they had a little bit of fight in them compared to match number 1.
Yes.
Parang at least UA1 had a little bit of a difficulty closing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think UA1 just played it how they usually do and did in the past years as well. They played it methodically, and their winning condition in the past game was pretty much France entering on that team fight and setting up the play for Cosmos for the rest to rush through. And I think they did that perfectly, just constantly finding G1 and Ninja Cat all
Yes.
throughout that game.
Ganda pinapakita nila doon dahil they're on a roll, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're on a roll right now, and they need to keep that roll going. Because malay mo, once they stop rolling na, HRiP can provide a stopping motion for that. Maybe magkaroon tayo ng 1-1. Possible?
Rams.
Possible?
Stop.
Diba? Pero bagong lahat, ayan o guys oh. Ito muna ang kailangan natin tignan. Ito muna oh. Ayan ang kailangan natin tignan guys. Kasi kung hindi nyo bibilisan yan, ako na muna mauuna dyan.
That's right, guys. Make sure you guys scan or
Yes.
what's this? Screenshot the code, input it sa Wild Rift nyo as soon as possible because again, first come, first
Yeah.
serve, and of course we have a lot of codes throughout the stream. I think this is our 3rd or 4th code now. So there's
Third,
been
yeah.
quite a bit.
The third code.
You guys, baka there was one we didn't see. You know?
Magic.
Yeah, there could have been one in the corner. See, even this, there's this here.
Yes, the
Did you
drafting
notice
phase.
this?
Right there. Pero, yes, here going in for the UA1, hopefully seeing an HRiP pick for France. I want to see him play an HRiP here at the game. But then again, we'll see Ninja Cat playing his go-to style with the assassins mid lane. I really want to see that as well. They clash towards each other. So, talagang gusto ko makita kung sino ba talaga mas lalamang sa kanilang dalawa as a player.
Yeah, for sure. And I think UA1 is really strong, especially on the jungler, on lockdown champions, right? From what we saw in the prior game, you had the Camille. And then they played like Sinjao and even the Gnar as well. And I think France has been playing exceptionally well with these champions that could set up the play for the team.
Exactly. And I think, alam ko, France has been... I know it's Poppy's favorite player here for UA1. But Infi, I want to ask you, who do you think is your standout player for UA1?
Oh, Sleepy Monster for sure.
Bakit Sleeping Monster?
Yeah, he went with a Choga bot.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
true.
That already states like
Parang-
why.
Oh my gosh!
And he won.
I just forgot we had that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call that comp anymore. If we have a winner's interview, I want to ask, ano yung like basis? What was the formula
Kaya nga
for
eh.
that comp? Because it was just so
Yeah.
Even we didn't know what was going on.
But aside from that, like even in the past series, right? He played the Yanara, he played the Ezreal, and consistently he was getting the priority up against his opponents. And I think that speaks a lot into the bottom side of the map, how UA1 has constantly just covered the ADC with the shroud of protection. You cannot touch our ADC.
So we ditch the ADC and we go for an APC.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why we have Twilight Shroud there. But of
Yeah.
course, on the side of HRIP, I know we were talking about Ninja Cat, pero para sa inyo, who do you think are also, really good opponents here that match the firepower of UA1? I think Ninja Cat is definitely someone, but maybe are there any players here in that maybe we were overlooking?
League would be a good one, a good candidate because on the earlier team fights with his Scion, he managed to knock up 5 members of UA1, a whole team knock up here with
Right.
his Scion. But then again, they couldn't properly follow it up since they're already dealing damage for the UA1. But then again, it takes in the minds of the player of League. He managed to knock up 5 members.
Yeah.
It's not an easy feat to do, especially if you're charging with a Scion.
Yeah, and I remember that team fight, and I think the huge problem with that is that Franz and even the Baron laner was able to just find an opportunity to find G1 and Ninja Cat, and that just kind of disrupted that potential engage, and there's no follow-up right after, wherein League was trying to set up for the team. And I think that was, you're right, I think League is an exceptional player overall, but I'm still double downing onto Ninja Cat and G1 to be able to find an opportunity to scale and really overwhelm UA1. So for me, really the series is a bottom lane matchup.
I think I have to agree there because even here from the bans from HRIP, we can see that they're really focusing on Sleeping Monster. They know, alam nila the potential dangers
Yeah.
of letting him come online. But of course here, now we have the Vi. This
Is
could
it?
really be a really good pickup for HRIP to potentially shut down Sleeping Monster.
Okay. So a Vi pick here. First pick for Vi. Okay, so they're going in for an all-in comp again, possible. But then, so they need to counter it. Yeah, then again, Puppy will be picked here.
Oh, and then it's Cosmos pa.
Yeah.
If it's Cosmos, oh my goodness. I also have to
Zillion!
say...
Zillion!
Oh, no!
My word.
Gaya na sabi ko,
Oh,
walang
no.
mamamatay sa teammates ko.
We asked this during the interview
Oh my
on why
goodness.
Zillion and Morgana has consistently been banned away against them, and I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, we are literally about to find out how good of a Zillion he is.
But I think for HRIP, Lucian is a good opening here. Considering that they have the Vi, this is a very aggressive early game that they can open things up for this team to find avenue for them to be able to get that advantage early on. So Lucian could be that early game answers if they opt to get that aggressive bottom laner secured, especially we're talking about G1.
My goodness, this is
Ninja
very
Cat.
unexpected. That kind of went on the under the radar for me. But here for HRIP, I do like that they have quite a
Garen.
bit of tankiness to the comp.
Okay,
Huh.
so
I feel like they're trying to do something that they can just run up.
Rumble mid lane again. And then
possible,
Garen
yeah.
on top side, Valley jungle.
Okay, so this lineup for the HRP is really kind of little lacking on the diving side, more like on the frontline side. So they really need to pick a good ADC and a support here to benefit for the side of HRP.
Yeah, and I think UA1 is already predicting
Yeah.
such a method for HRIP with that Sinjao pickup. And we all know Sinjao's ultimate really denies a lot of these poke damages that could come from HRIP. Considering that they locked in onto Rumble, possibly going mid, Garen on top, and Vi into the jungle, the only carry that we will have left for HRIP would be G1. So I wonder what the positioning would be. Since you still have the Lucian opening, it can be denied by the Sinjao. We still have the likes of Corki, the Sivir. These are some options that HRIP can still lock in, but they opt to ban it instead.
Yes, they need to ban it. So looking here, possible this is a good pick for a Saya since they can no amount of dashes a little bit. Only Vi has a dash that can close the gap towards an enemy
Corki,
backline.
bye-bye.
Yeah. So Corgi is out of the window. But then again,
I wonder who else is a strong early game ADC. that can scale out really well. Ezreal is no longer a possible option for
Yeah.
HRIP this time around.
Draven can be good.
Yo,
the Kai'Sa.
let's
Oh
not
my
go there,
goodness.
bro.
There's the Saya.
That's good. That's really good.
Yes.
Because the thing is, like, Saya with the Feather Storm has that innate ability to disengage on those team fights.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. Nasus Senna?
Nasus?
Are we going back to Classic?
Oh
Nasus
my
Senna?
gosh.
Nasus Senna?
I mean, that's the only.
First,
answer for the
first
whole
pick,
lane.
Nasus Senna!
Oh,
Here we go!
What is going on?
Wait, we're going back to year
I
zero.
mean, this makes sense, right? We saw the lane swap earlier in game number 1. Game number 2, they're bringing this back.
I can't believe it, man.
Guys, they're celebrating League Classic with Wild Rift Classic.
Because the thing is, like, Nasus would be played, I'm expecting, by G1 or Monspeed. Nasus would be the one who last hits. He stacks.
Yes.
Senna is still able to stack even as a support.
Exactly.
So really, this is... whew, I love it. HRIP, your brain is braining.
It is
They
very-
managed to brain the brains.
I know it's been a fast day, but honestly, I would love to see if this goes to a game number 3, because I wonder
Yes.
what they would bring to the table next. But you can see so much respect here for Sleeping Monster. So many bans targeted the bot lane.
But here's the big problem.
Okay.
HRIP's composition, they cannot fight in the early game.
Yes.
Nasus and Senna can't do anything. Rumble still takes time to be able to deal damage. And Garen is on top side, fighting 1v1 up against a Poppy. And
Yes.
UA1 can capitalize on that with the Lysandra, with the Xayah, with the Zillion. Sinjao is also strong at the early game. So this is where UA1 has to find avenue to be able to get an edge up against HRIP.
I feel like if this was rock, paper, scissors, though, UA1 they love their early game, right? And of course, against a team like HRIP, where they have a lot of late game champions, a part of me is a little bit worried that HRIP does not have enough time to cook. But Poppy, Infi, I think it's time that we get into game number 2. So, passing the mic, back to you.
Oh, okay. Passing the mic. Ito na.
There's
Is
a
this-
different level of let him cook.
I'm speechless.
Look, the thing is, HRIP is a chef. Might be a master chef in this game. It's crazy to think about, especially considering the fact that UA1 is already on match point. They're one game away to securing the series. And HRIP is bringing out this year 1 composition that came out of nowhere.
Yes. Will the classics work or the general lineup will prevail? That's the question here.
And look at this, like UA1, look at that deep ward. They know that Senna and Nasus can't do anything in the early game.
Yes.
Might be going and extending this to the mid-game fight. We're in Modspeed and G1 that has to play it very, very safe. Senna's very, very squishy at level 1 to level 3. And just look at this.
Yes.
This can be expected, Sleeping Monster and Cosmos to be so aggressive all throughout the first 10 minutes of the matchup.
Yes, but she really needs to build up her stacks here to be able to deal some damage. But then again, just like you said, he's really squishy until level 3.
You mentioned it. They need the stacks.
Yes,
But here's the thing. They cannot stack.
they cannot stack because Saya and of course Zillion is an early game champions. And of course, with Sleeping Monster and Cosmos on the bot lane doing a duo together, it's going to be a really hard time for G1 and Monspeed to stack, as you can see right now.
Yeah. So really the main perspective that we have to consider for HRIP, it will be Villatins that can control the whole early mid-game phase, because none of these champions coming into the bottom side of the map has to be the priority for HRIP. This is the weak side of the map consistently all throughout this possible final game if ever HRIP loses this, or a possible second game for the series. And for UA1, I think they just can double down into the bottom side of the map, or even the mid lane. We're in Twilight Shroud can really put a huge advantage in the mid lane up against a Rumble, because Rumble will never get prio up against a Lysandra, especially pre-level 5.
Yes, pre-level 5. But they managed to do a little bit of, just keeping that wave at their outside of their tower, which is really good. They're really trying to freeze the lane there.
Oh,
Ooh,
Van?
almost killed.
Flash. Flash.
He doesn't have flash.
Slam. No, I mean League has.
Yeah, League has a flash, but he can. Oh no!
Bye, guy.
He goes down. Villatins just killed Fen, and wow, for the first time, HRP got the first blood.
And this is what we mentioned. Villatims can dictate the game. It's not going to be it's not going to be the bottom side of the map. It is the weak side. So now it's top side that HRIP is looking for.
Ooh. But then again, will that be enough for friends? And now here comes the backup. Ninja Cat is trying to kill the enemy jungle, but now Fen is back here and he's gonna get a double kill for the side. That's a really huge boost for France here.
Ooh, that is unfortunate. HRIP just can't do that. They already got the kill onto Fen, and they have to be satisfied with that, considering that really their composition is not for the early game. So this is really unfortunate. They overextended, they overstayed their welcome on the top jungle, and they're punished because of it.
Yes, while here looking into the bot side, they're already at level 5. Nasus is still at level 4. But then again, he doesn't have any stacks yet to deal a huge amount of damage. Garen here, oh, okay.
So yeah,
Possible.
really, the game plan for HRIP is to play it late. They're never gonna win this early game, especially considering the fact that they have Lissandro's an opponent, Saya's an opponent, Zillion that can revive. So they have to look at the perspective of late game.
But here, as you can see, MSF France trying to gank the Garen here. League, okay, but he survives. Oh, but already saw the rumble. Equalizer is gonna go down, but will that be enough? And now he's on a killing spree. But then again, Villatins is gonna come here. Double kill for the side, but then again, it's not enough. But the Cyclone is gonna be enough to kill them. 2-4-2 trade here for the side of UA1 and HRIP.
Good response coming from HRIP. Both these champions into the bottom side of the map are all low. But the thing is, UA1 still has the ultimate coming from Sleeping Monster with that Feather Storm, and Cosmos has the revive as well. So if ever both these players from both these sides decide to go for a team fight, G1 and Monspeed will not win. And I think that is the perspective that UA1 wants. They can force out the team fight and they can still win it.
Yeah, they can still win this if they really manage to survive till mid-game or to late game. But then again, from the looks of things, UA1 is trying to dominate it as early as possible. They're trying to end it as early as possible. And take note, MSF France. Oh, okay.
Rotations from
Yeah,
the
the
map.
rotations here are coming in.
Villa teams has been seen, but
Okay.
up to the back away. I think that is necessary for them. They overstayed their welcome just a few minutes back, and just retreating without any opportunity to go for that pickoff is smart. Because if they overstayed, they're going to lose XP and gold from farming, and they're just having more risks into staying on that position. So really, really clever there for HRIP. And now the switch in lanes occur as we are moments away from those objectives that will spawn out soon.
Yes, but I think they would need to give up this objective in order to win, because they cannot win against a team fight. Oh, but see here, France is trying to, just like a little poke at the Villa teams here. Medyo hindi niya pa binibigyan ng konting damage, but that is a good stun for Cosmos right there.
Yeah.
They're slowly building up their stacks, as we can see here. Yeah, he can already one hit an enemy minion.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe like a Triforce
Yeah.
for G1, and then possibly a Spirit Passage. After that, he is going to be an unbeatable raid boss. So just keep an eye on G1, especially late game. But here in this early game, it's all eyes on Villa teams and League. These are certain champions that you have to really look out for.
As you can see here, that is a beautiful steal. Oh no, never mind. They got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it, actually. But now they have another clash here in the mid lane. Will that be enough to kill MSF France? Here, as you can see, G1 already transformed here. Oh,
G1!
Then again, it is gonna go down. Fen is gonna throw a buckler at that Nasus right there. Pero hindi pa nga tapos dito ang laban natin dahil ito na nga, sunod-sunod pa nangyayari dito. Hindi pa rin tapos si France dahil babalik pa siya dito. Garen is running in for his life. Pero ito na nga, wala pa siya na-execute dito. Pero still got the burn damage there. Whew!
Yeah, that was kind of all over the place.
Yes.
That we're looking at it, but it was a good response coming from League into the backside with that Demolition Justice alongside the Ignite. It was kind of like an overstay for both these sides, and you have Villa teams with that response as well, getting the kill onto Fen, and Twilight Shroud eventually getting beat down. But this is expected, right? It is HRiP who is at a massive disadvantage all throughout this game. And what we mentioned a while ago, it is all eyes on Villa teams and League in this early game. Wait for 12 minutes before G1 starts to scale and Monseed starts to deal damage.
And here we go again. Velatine is coming in here, but will that be enough to kill? But then again, we have Cosmos' ult here. Oh, will that be enough? Oh, yes, indeed, that will be enough. And he will get the stack. G1 just got another stack towards his damage, and that is going to add up in the late game as the game goes on.
Yeah, this is starting to hurt now for HRiP. I think Monspeed is possibly building onto an Eclipse. G1 with a Triforce, possibly going for a Spirit Visage next for that extra sustain and the extra bit of magic resist as well up against Twilight Shroud later down the road. So really good stuff coming in from HRiP. Our expectation was that HRiP all throughout this early game that they will be at a massive deficit considering that they built up onto a Nasus and Senna bottom lane. But so far, Villa teams and League has been carrying the weight of the whole team's shoulder at the moment, and they have been doing such a fantastic job actually getting a 2k gold lead up against their opponent.
Yes, but then again, if they manage to get taken down for the side of UA1, they're going to have a hard time, finishing this team fight for the side of HRiP, since they're the ones who deals the most damage. Well, yes, we could say that Ninja Cat can do a lot of damage with his Rumble, but then again, he's very squishy, but as you can see here, right now, Franz just proves me how squishy a Rumble is, especially when building AP.
Okay, Franz, you are starting to be a raid boss, brother. Chill out for a minute. Because if you're gonna look at it, like every single one of these kills has been given to Franz. And if Franz is available, that will be the depth of HRiP. But 3v1.
But now it's still not over yet. As you can see here, G1 is slowly running it down for the side of UA1. Okay, G1 is literally online now with his Nasus backing up with the Senna. This is what we talked about. They need to survive until the mid-game, until they can start dealing damage, and that time is now.
Yeah, G1 is starting to hurt. You have Villa team setting up the play, and we're going to look at it. Very adaptive as well. They build it onto a Frozen Heart to just negate a lot of these damage that would be coming in from Xayah, just to deny that attack speed. So really, HRiP is playing it on a team comp basis. But so far here on top side of the map, it's a 1v1. League has been playing a dominant game up against Fen. And I think this is one of the expectations that we have so far. First 10 minutes, really good play so far for HRiP.
Yes, indeed. But then again, they didn't cross paths with France yet. So we can't really say, but safe to say that Nasus or G1 can easily take out MSF France here. Since Velatine now here coming in, Velatine is coming in for another ulti for Cosmos. He really wants that Zillion out of this fight. But now still, that is a very good execution. Oh my god, that is a very good Feather Star. And now UA1 has turned the tables against the HRiP and slowly building it up. Fen is gonna get taken down. Oh, okay, he's still not gonna take it out. But then again, the only ones that left is G1 and Monspeed.
Sleeping monster! A definite monster, sleeping at the night, waking up in the morning. If we're going to look at it, it is Cosmos who died. Revive comes through with that ultimate, but look at the Feather Storm. Just eyes on Sleeping Monster, called it through. Every single one was rooted, and then followed up with Twilight Shroud's ultimate as well, connecting onto 3. That was a fantastic job by UA1, and now they're standing on an even level playing field up against HRiP.
Yes, I know now. But here, as you can see, G1 is isolated in the middle of the UA1 team. But now, as we can see here, okay, they managed to steal the dragon here for the HRiP, but still, the fight is still not. Oh, that is a very good ultimate once again. Senna dropping his ultimate, but that will be enough. Hopefully, though, Villatin is trying to make a run for it. But then again, Sleeping Monster is on his back, but now they're just going to disengage.
What was that? Twilight Shroud's ultimate connected on the 4, but no follow-up. Because the thing is, like, Twilight Shroud, as soon as he entered, he was killed. And unfortunately, Cosmos' ultimate already used up. And I think it was really unfortunate because as we saw there, UA1 was the one who started the Drake, so they were at a disadvantage. HRiP just responded and Villa teams got the steal. And really, when we're talking about these team fights, we also have to consider that G1 has S3 or move 3 that can bring down the armor of their opponents. And Monspeed is building onto 80 damage. Villa teams is also 80 damage, and League as well into a team fight. So they are just stacking so much damage up against their opponents, and these are not squishy targets after all.
Yes, and of course, G1 here with his decay as well, especially when putting on a sleeping monster. Oh, okay, but here, League is gonna get taken down again. A shutdown, and giving it to MSF France, but now they're starting here the Baron. And as I said, G1 with his decay is a very devastating effect for Saya. As you can see there, the slowness of the movement speed provided by the decay of Anasus.
Yeah, good turnaround. Twilight Shroud. Stuns onto one.
And now they're coming in here. Ultimates and droppings. Everybody is going to drop here. Velatis is the first one to go. And of course, a little bit of damage. But now, G1 is running for his life. G1 is actually chasing the size of UA1. All of them are low. That is a huge range from Monkey. That is a snipe, if I call it one.
3 for 3 trade and HRiP starting up the Baron. It will be Villa teams who rise up to the occasion much faster than the opposing jungler. When we see here the stun onto Villa teams, that was perfect coming in from their opponents. But look at G1, uncontested, unattended. It was fighting 1v3, but it doesn't matter. That is a Nasus that we're talking about with a Trifort and also a Sundered Sky.
Yes.
He will be unbeatable. But look at Twilight Shroud.
Yes, Twilight Shroud here is gonna get taken down by the Garen, and now Poppy here, Fen is trying to make his best to possibly deny, but then again, he was too late, and now they need to build an anti-heal here, which already got by Poppy, but then again, what can you do against a fed Nasus with a 3 item?
This is what we mentioned a while ago. HRiP just has to wait for 12 minutes, and it will be G1's game. It will be Monspeed's game. And look at them. G1 is now unbeatable. G1 is now unkillable. And UA1 has to change your perspective. That, you know what? Let's look up onto Monspeed. Let's look onto Ninja Cat. These are some of the options that we have to take down. League 2v1.
And now League 2v1. It will be able to escape or kill it. Okay, that will not be enough. And another shutdown for MSF France.
Now, tier 2 turrets being eyed on by HRiP in the mid lane.
Okay, so here, as we can see, G1 already using his ultimate here, but now they're really trying to hug the tower here. They are really quite a little bit afraid now of the damage G1 has been providing here. And of course, but then again, we can't deny the range of Asena, especially with her stacks as well. Okay, they're going to take out the tier 2 tower. That adds up another stacks for G1.
Yeah, and HRiP, man. They are on a different level. Who would have thought they're going to bring up the Nasus Senna in this game? And it's working quite significantly well. I mean, HRiP, this is the winning condition that we're looking for, right? Going into late game. In the early game, it's all about Villa teams and League. These are the name of the game that we have to keep an eye on. But HRiP waited for these late game wherein G1 and Monspeed was able to scale. I think that is what UA1 has to keep an eye on as well. That, you know what? We have to constantly look at these champions. We have to look at these players because if they are left unattended, it will be HRP who is just able to capitalize on the strength of these two champions. Yun yung nakita natin kanina where in G1 was fighting 1v3, no one can stop him. And I think that is really kind of the weakness that UA1 have to put an eye on, basically. It is Fen, it is Franz who has to keep these champions in check.
Yes, indeed. Ito na nga. Pero, the table has been turned around dito. G1 na ang nagdi-dictate ng laro eh. So, ang win condition na papasagot dito, maybe Elder Dragon and maybe a Baron here for the side of UA1. But then again, the damage is there na eh. So, Senna and Nasus is already been activated. League and Villa teams just needs to, you know, survive the onslaught that's gonna get poured on for them from the side of UA1.
Oh, rotations.
Okay, rotations here. I think they're gonna go in for an invade of blue here. They can do nothing here except Twilight Shroud. And now, the Equalizer has been dropping in. Ito na nga, pumasok na nga dito. Si Pilates, hindi pa nga tapos ang laban. G1 is slowly walking in to the back line. Ito na nga, pinalo ng isang beses. Isa ka pa, okay. Mukhang hindi pa nga nila tuluyang mababa dito. Pero nagtipi na nga dito. Uy, that is a good feather recall. Dito na ginawa dito. And now, successfully, wow, na-disengage nila ang laban with no one dying except for Ninja Cat.
Yeah, Ninja Cat was slain. I think that's relatively good for UA1. That's a trade for an objective takedown for HRiP. So that's basically an ocean break at the cost of Ninja Cat's life.
Yeah. But now they really need to take out G1 here because he's the one.
Yeah, and if they want to force out the Baron fight, they have to do it now.
Yeah.
Well, they are at the man advantage. 15 seconds before Ninja Cat comes up, but they have to turn things around. Look at Fen charging up the ultimate.
Oh, he
no one
misses!
stopped up!
And now here we go! Oh, Fan misses, but now they're going into the Baron. Oh, no! They stole the Baron! And now they are going to fall one by the hands of the HRiP. Double kill here for League, and it's still not over. Fan is trying to defend for his life. He's the only one left standing here, and now he's gonna go down with the rest of his team, which gives the win for HRiP. This is going to be a 1-1.
You can't get away from this, HRiP! You picked up the Nasus and Senna, and you dominated, and they're looking to end.
And now they are literally going to end for the side of HRiP. Now, congratulations, this is going to be a 1-1.
I can't believe it! G1 Monspeed picking up this untraditional, unorthodox pick combination into the bottom side of the map, able to play very safe all throughout the early mid game, able to scale at the latter part of the stage of game 2, and G1 simply became unstoppable.
Yes. So the objective earlier was just to survive, and now it changes to dominate. As we can see here, slowly the damage of the Nasus scaling up as the replay goes by, and then as the game goes on and on, a little bit of chunks of left. See, as you can see there, the damage is slowly getting larger and larger and larger, and of course with the decay placed on the Saya, he can do nothing about it with just a little bit of slow.
And do I even have to talk about Villa teams in this game? I have to tip my hats off to this player, to this jungler of HRiP, because we are constantly highlighting G1, we're constantly highlighting Monspeed, but we have to look at Villa teams as well. Early mid-game, it was Villa teams who's able to dictate how this team is going for, get the priority in the top side of the map, and just get that reading room for G1 and Monspeed to scale. And I think Villa teams as well, at that Baron fight, getting that steal is phenomenal. It was UA1's winning condition. It was what they are really going for to take that win for game 2 and secure the series, but they lost it.
Yes, Abilities just stole that that winning condition away from them, making it a tie now here. And actually that should have set a something off from UA1, because you know, that's the first time they lost this day.
Oh yeah, I mean 2-0 last game, they won the prior game, and UA1, whew, I'm speechless at this point. HRiP was just incredible from that matchup, and of course the highlight, this untraditional pick,
The Nasus.
the Nasus of G1 being the MVP of the game.
The MVP of the game. As we can see in the early game, he was getting bullied by the
Oh my
Saya
gosh.
and Cosmos, but he turned around like, okay, bet. Wait me till the mid game, and now here he is, the MVP of the game, number 2.
Yeah, and 7.5 KDA as well. Team fight participation of 75% from that matchup. And really, who expected this game to go into a Game 3 Best of 3 series? UA1 has showcased, has highlighted that macro and micro impeccable coordination from the prior series and from game number 1. But HRiP says no, they can do it too.
Yes. So yeah, I'm speechless from the fact that that worked. Nessa, I mean Senna and Nasus bot rarely works, especially in a ranked game. But now here in a tournament setting, it's really incredible to see it works, and I see how powerful it is when it works. And now they need to go back to the drawing board again and see what another matchup can they provide us again.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to the drawing board, looking at the specific draft of what they can bring to the table once again. This is Wild Rift, baby. It's 1-1 between HRiP and UA1PH. Both these teams one game away to secure the series. But before then, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's Game 3 of League of Legends Wild Rift for this series.
The Earth hides many secrets. Let's shake things up. Every stone weaves a different story.
Witness my might.
looks like we jinxed it. It looks like we are going to a game number 3 in the second series of the day. Kasi, oh my goodness, HRiP, they have cooked. We let them cook. And I think they served UA1 a very, very painful dish of a map number 3. Pero I have to say, ang ganda ng adjustments that they've made, and especially from watching UA1 from their first match earlier today, up until now, you can really see the adjustments at HRiP. It's like they've downloaded them and they're finding out all of their weaknesses. And on top of that, with a year 1 comp.
Yeah, MasterChef.
Yeah.
HRiP, again, their brain is braining in that game too. Who let him cook this time around? I have no idea, but G1 was a monster.
Yes, was a monster, and especially their jungle divide has a really good, engage, and of course the follow up with Ninja Cat, and of course the equalizer. There's a lot of slow and a damage as well, especially with the Leandris on his Rumble. Just adds up for all the damage that they provide.
And let me talk about it for a second, right? Nasus and Senna, the reason why it works, it's a double stacking combination into bottom lane. Nasus last hits, he stacks his Q. Senna doesn't last hit, but he still stacks the soul. Right, and as he scales, or as they scale, Nasus' damage increases with that Q damage, and then Senna's damage will increase because of the souls having extra range, having crit rate, having really all the things that he wants, and that's just that is the reason why it works, and that's the reason why in year 1 it has constantly seen the light of day.
That's right, and I really like na pinakita nila that it still works in 2026.
Don't fix what's not broken.
Exactly, don't reinvent the wheel. And of course, I think the wheel is rolling as well as it should. But now, of course, we're moving on to our first game 3 of the day, which means, of course, Fearless Draft means a lot of champions off the table. But I think, kasi it's these two teams, UA1 and HRiP have shown us na magaling sila mag-draft, right? So I'm really, really curious to see what they'll do when they have so much less champions to choose from.
Yeah, and I love what HRiP is doing, right? Ban away the Yanara. Sleeping Monster was a beast with the Yanara in the prior series, so remove that champion, and then HRiP pivoted onto support role. Because we all know Cosmos has been that enabler for Sleeping Monster in Twilight Shroud consistently over the past few games of UA1. So ban away the Morgana maybe for HRiP and just remove any possibility for that bottom lane to take an advantage.
On top of that, gusto ko lang i-add really quick, I felt like in this game, G1 was the only one I saw really bullying Cosmos the entire day.
Yes.
Parang Cosmos has just been chilling in the back this whole time, and then for once, finally, someone noticed him, someone gave him the attention that he deserves.
And now, that really played well for the side of HRiP when they taking out Cosmos, because he's the one providing the revive, siya din yung nagbibigay ng heals, and of course the slow, the movement speed, the stuns, and once they taken that out, it's an easy field day for the side of HRiP.
And look at UA1 prioritizing on the Ambessa for Fen. So this is really good for pickoff potential. So I'm expecting UA1 might be signaling that they can opt to go for a Talia and even a HRiP in this composition if they want to go for like that speedy composition that can pick off any single lane. And now for HRiP, having that Lulu means that they're really going all in for G1.
Ooh, I really like this Lulu pick here. I think na Speed, I think, is a really good support when it comes to these poke champions, especially, right? I think Lulu sits in very well. I felt like kanina, he was really open to playing these really risky early pokes in the bottom lane, so I think a Lulu is very fitting. And Ari, though, tells me that HRiP feel a little bit more confident to pick fights now.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're matching up against UA1's signaling of having that pick-off potential with UA1, but this is unexpected. I was expecting Kisante to be picked up by HRiP, but if UA1 picks this up, Kisante might be that solo laner once again alongside Ambessa, similar to what we saw in game number 1, wherein we had that solo laners on both side lanes and that duo coming into mid.
Yes. But now, looking here with the Ari pick, this is actually pretty good, pick off, especially when they have... Okay. Okay.
HRiP has to ban away Sivir.
They have to.
That's like, they have to ban it.
Oh no. So we have 3 walls currently picked by the UA1. So we have an Ari and a Lulu on the side of
Okay.
HRiP. Okay, that works.
But HRiP right now is missing a frontliner. They picked up a Lulu support, so they have to invest that tankiness on the top side of the map. Aatrox is still available, so UA1 couldn't ban it away. Braum, well, not exactly something to consider, but really,
Yeah.
Aatrox is one that UA1 can ban away alongside the Jax. So HRiP, just ban away the Silver, please. This is an all-in composition coming from UA1. If that ultimate comes through, everyone's just gonna rush in.
Yep, I don't think walang silver ban. It's open.
Okay, it's open for UA1.
It's open.
But the Lee is also a good option. This is what we mentioned a while
Oh.
ago.
Yeah.
But at the same time, remember, I think there was a composition UA1 should have picked the silver, but they didn't. Who did they pick in that comp? The Ziggs.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, the Ziggs.
So I don't know at
You
this
never
point.
know.
At this
It's a
point,
free for all. 1, 2, 3, kanya-kanya na.
this series has been a master class in the cooking world.
Yeah.
They're both cooking their composition. And you know what, HRiP, we talked about this. They need a frontliner.
A Shen.
And Shen definitely works into
Ooh.
an all-in funnel onto Kai'Sa.
Yes.
First pick also for Shen for the entire Wild Rift Pilipinas Open this year. So again, now making his debut on the Rift.
Really, this composition is a funnel
Yes.
to Kai'Sa. This is no questions asked. But the question is, can Kai'Sa survive this all-in
Onslaught.
rush composition of UA1, that onslaught that UA1 is cooking for Game 3?
Ooh, and now they have the Orianna pick here, so when Ambessa comes in, he can put the ball and then do another
Wait,
shockwave.
Who's the support?
Ito, this is what I mean. Ito, this is
Yo.
UA1. They don't listen
Like
to
I said-
fundamental comps. You
Like-
wanted Severe? No. We get an Orianna support.
Oh,
it's gonna be
an
Sona.
APC again.
They're doing the same thing that they did in game number what? Game 1?
Look,
no.
see, they got a Zig,
Game
they
2 of
got
the
a
last game.
Cho'Gath, and now it's an Orianna.
Bro.
Huh.
Okay,
Shyvana?
let him cook.
Like I said.
What
Shyvana!
in the world? This is like
Edge.
a whole league of drafting.
But I think this works because the thing is, like HRiP, it's not only Kai'Sa that they have to funnel.
Debut.
If Kai'Sa
First
cannot,
time Shyvana.
if Kai'Sa cannot work into the bottom side of the map, they still have Shyvana as an option. They still have Ahri as an option. Lulu and Shen has so much sustain for the team that they can pick whatever champion that they want to play the carry role. So HRP is saying that, you know what, Kai'Sa can carry, but we can also consider Shyvana. That we can also consider Ahri. I don't know who's cooking here.
I like HRIP. Parang siya yung mas traditional comp that you would expect, well-rounded and everything. But
Yes.
UA1 here, I feel like they like to surprise us with comps like this, and you never know how it's gonna pan out.
Exactly. I think HRIP is thinking if they want, let's play balanced, let's play traditional.
Yeah.
But UA1, you also have to consider the possibility of how Ambessa can just go in from far away with a public execution and get a duel off. Volibear can just jump right in onto your face right at a moment's notice. So this is what Kai'Sa has to be aware of. This is what Ahri has to be aware of because expectedly these two champions will carry late.
Yes, and of course, we can't ignore Cosmos here picking the Sona here. And he can disengage, especially when Valestine and of course Kai'Sa jumps right inside the team fight. He can just ult. And then they could be stunned and executed.
I just
right away.
remembered, I'm not sure if my facts are correct, but I think Sona is Cosmo's best champ. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but a part of me feels like that might be something. But of course, this is game number 3 between UA1 and HRIP. Both of these teams, gods at cooking, gods at the draft. So the question is, what are they going to do when it comes to the Rift? So for our final game, Infi, Poppy, who's it gonna be?
Master chefs from two different regions. HRIP and UA1, blue side, red side, different type of flavor in their composition. Who can cook much better here, Poppy?
I can't. I didn't know. Just dab me up. Pero makita natin dito, ang daming nakalaan dito sa game na to. Dahil 1-1 na sila. This game will decides who will move. Diba? Pero, mid lane Sleeping Monster, as we can see kanina, Sleeping Monster is very versatile. He can play an ADC, he can play a Baron lane, he can play a mid lane. Ano siya, talagang kahit saan mo siya ilagay, pwede siya. Now, looking here, medyo relax lang sila at this point since Fen is dealing with the Shen, especially League. has a lot of damage against a tank as well.
But I want to put a point onto Ambessa. Look at the clear. It takes too much time, and Shyvana is already on the Wolves. So I think that is going to play a huge deficit onto UA1's potential to roam into the side lanes. This would be Twilight Shroud, who has to play it a bit more safe. Sleeping Monster has to do the same. He's still onto the bottom jungle,
Yes.
when Shyvana is already on the second side.
Okay, here. As we can see, from the looks, the warding of HRP is very, very deep. So they know where MSF France is going to be right now. And he's just starting going into the Wolves while the Ambassador is already finishing the Krugs. Now he can go in for a gank or a scuttle.
Yeah, and another layer of difficulty is that they're doing parallel jungle. So the thing is, like, Shyvana can just jump in, go for the reset quite immediately, gain that innate advantage already with the items being bought at the first few minutes, and go into the bottom side or whatever lane he wants to go for, and just try to play or make a play for his team. And I think that is the cost of having an Ambessa be in the jungle role.
Yes, but then again, kailangan lang nila umabot dito ng middle game or mid game to be able to, para kay Ambessa na, to provide the damage that she needs, because she's an anti-tank. Let's not, you know, shiver away from it. She's an anti-tank. She can burst down Shen, she can burst down Shyvana when given to, and especially G1 Kaisa here. Oh,
A bit of an overextension.
okay.
Both these sides are preparing for a dive. But
Okay, not yet, not yet. But here, possibly we can see a dive here by Ninja Cat. But again, he's already level 5. He got ult, and he can just dash away from the enemy champion. And now, looking here, slowly pushing the lane. Fen.
Okay, the pings are coming through. Fran's going on top side of the map. They have ultimates ready as well.
Oh!
Public execution.
Public
Dives under the
execution.
turret. It's Lee who is in danger. Rooted
Okay.
down. The CC chain is flawless.
Oh!
And UA1 jumps
Oh my
right
God.
through. Gets the first blood as Sleeping Monster gets the kill.
Oh, that flash in from
Good response coming from Ninja Cat, but Ignite burning down Fen in the top side of the map. So still even level playing field in this game number 3.
Okay, the players here are really, really on fire now. They got their jizz on, they got their jazzes on, you know?
Yeah, that dive coming in from Ambessa. This is what we're talking about
That
in
is a
terms of
beautiful
dueling
dive.
with the public execution. It will be something really that UA1 has to be fearful of.
Indeed, as we can see here, hindi sila ganun nagkakalayo sa gold. Although lamang lang sila ng a little bit of gold, like a couple of hundred lang naman. Pero dito makita natin mamaya sa ating objective. First objective here will be probably a dragon or a Rift Herald fight. Depende pa. Then again, Ninja Cat is slowly, you know, doing his ninja ways, di ba? To gank the outer lanes, especially top lane. That is a very good gank earlier.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Franz right now is so delayed already. If we're going to look at the jungle individually, Franz is on a 300-400 gold deficit. And he has to pay the price of picking up an Ambessa as a jungler. We're in Villa teams at the moment. It's just rotating around the top jungle, the right jungle, and just clearing out so fast. And I think that will kind of snowball later down the road onto potential ganks, especially down here into the bottom side of the map. So really clever on how UA1 is putting these wards to gain information.
Yeah, they have a really good ward placement here. And of course, HRP already has no vision for the side of UA1, while UA1 is slowly, you know, branching it out for the jungle side of HRP. But then again, Ninja Cat here is doing some ninja stuff. Oh, okay, he just popped that blast cone out. Okay, he's getting ready. They're getting ready now.
Yeah, very clever coming from Ninja Cat, getting the ward onto the Brambleback, and also just removing the blast cone means that in terms of a dragon takedown, it will be HRIP who has that advantage. And considering that they have been playing, or they played a Shyvana, Dragon Clear would be so fast.
Yes, Dragon Clear would be indeed fast. But as you can see, bottom lane, Sleeping Monster, actually, Cosmos.
Villa teams already panning self
Oh.
into the bottom side of the map, but Sona's too fast.
Okay.
Cosmos, good
Yeah,
response.
Yeah, they know. They managed to sense a dragon nearby. But now, okay, he's trying to look here for a gank. Villatins is trying to look for a gank. Okay, tinamaan niya si Sleeping Monster. Okay, but still not enough to dive in, or won't be enough to dive in.
Remember, HRIP still has the Shen. So at a moment's notice,
He can just ult.
if HRiP forces out a fight, yes, he can definitely ult and get that extra sustain for his teammates.
So probably they going to need an anti-shield here, but then again, Fen is doing that top damage. Okay, he's not gonna ult yet.
Wait, what?
Oh,
They're
going
opting to go for the Rift Herald.
Oh, I think they're gonna go for a...
Yeah, they're going for it.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so I think the thought process here, that HRiP is going for the Rift Herald, bring it to mid lane and get the Drake after. But UA1 is not letting this through.
They're gonna
to
contest
it. As we fight
Oh.
this through and through, UA1 starting up the Rift
Oh,
Herald,
coming
public
in.
execution onto one, but Shyvana goes in for the ultimate into the backside.
Flash.
But look at G1 already down low, has to go under the turret, but they're still fighting as Villa
Villa
Teams
Teams.
is on the front lines. Cosmos is low, and Villa Teams is taken down. No more jungle left for HRiP. It's too late,
Shed
but the
coming
taunt is perfect onto France. Both junglers are gone, but equal follow through. It's a 2-for-1 trade. The charm connects onto Sleeping Monster, but UA1 will still keep this fight on.
Oh my god, that is a good trade. As you can see there, they really played well against the enemy divers. See, that Shen, that of course, Villatines just dove right inside the UA1 teams. But then again, he got shot down by the Orianna Twilight Shroud, you know, stunned by the Volibear by Sleeping Monster.
No
And of
ulti!
course- Oh my
No
god.
ulti, no flash. Oh, that was so close.
Oh.
Sleeping Monster, you could have taken that kill down, but nevertheless, playing it safe. Much better for himself. A possible takedown onto the Drake as they get turned down into the bottom lane.
Okay, so this is a... By the way, this is a Dusk and Dawn Volibear, which deals a significant huge amount of AP damage.
Zone, Shyvana,
Okay.
jump into Dragon's Pit. It's a 1-for-1, and Villa Teams steals Infernal Drake, and they keep up the fight.
Polymorph.
2 already down, make it 3. HRiP is losing, is bleeding as UA1 demolishes HRiP with League, the only one left standing, and UA1 with a chase, and UA1 gets the ace.
My god, that is the first ace that we've seen all day right here. And now they are utilizing that Rift Herald. As you can see, the replay here, they just know who to target first. They need to take out the backline, then head straight for League as the final one to chase down.
Yeah, and this is a huge problem. In terms of team fight composition, UA1 has that edge. They have so much utility. Fen can zone away their opponents, so Villa Teams, in terms of objective takedown, is not going to be that easy. France with a public execution can eye onto G1 and Ninja Cat so easily. Shroud has that shockwave for those team fights. Monster is really just a monster in the face of a team fight, and Cosmos has an AoE stun.
Yes.
So these are some of the utilities that UA1 has in their comp.
Yes, indeed. And now, as we can see here, Orianna or Twilight Shroud has already built a counter item for Shen's shield. So it doesn't really give that much shield anymore if he manage to, you know, ult a Kaisa or maybe a Shyvana here. It doesn't really do much more shielding or sustain now. He can only provide his with his W, but now, then again, also the Volibear here is building a little bit of Bruiser and AP build.
Yeah.
Now,
This is really a dangerous Volibear. We've seen a Dust and Dawn Volibear been played in the past week, and it's really, really strong in brawling up against enemy teams, especially in those team fights, because Dusk and Dawn heals you and deals a lot of damage. And so far, UA1 has been playing it through and through, especially with Twilight Shroud already at 403.
yes, 403. Napakaganda ng mga pinapakita ngayon dito ng UA1. But will it be enough para makip nila ang momentum nila dito? Kasi, you know, they are slowly scaling. Shyvana is slowly scaling her items up again. But then again, this is a Volibear, we're speaking. He's one of the raid bosses when he's fed. So medyo mahirap, especially with the Kisante paired up. And of course, the Ambessa that can dash all around the team of HRiP. They're gonna have a really hard time if they keep this momentum up.
Yeah, it definitely is a hard time because you also have to consider that picking up the Shen means that Villa Teams has to set up the play and Shen will just ulti onto Villa Teams. And that means that Shyvana would be left alone to sponge for the whole team for quite a moment before Shen drops into a team fight. So really, jungler can lose his HP quite quickly if they force out a fight.
Okay, almost killed Ninja Cat there, but he managed to escape with causing her ultimate na naman dito. Pero Fen slowly but surely pushing the tier 2 tower on the side of HRiP. Now they're actually, I like what UA1 is doing here. Kasi lahat sila constantly pushing the sides slowly but surely, as you can see, slowly building up the minion wave. Ano yun dito?
Ultimate,
Ooh,
not gonna
but
survive.
he is not gonna survive that.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. And again, this is one of the problems,
Yeah.
having Shen as your top laner and being the primary frontline. That cannot exactly be the first one in a team fight.
Yeah, tank mains. Oh!
Public execution onto Ninja Cat, and that is just a dive under the turret, uncontested. A kill onto Ninja Cat for UA1.
Yes, that is a fast execution as well. As you can see here, they are going to push the first inhibitor now. Ambessa is actually going into the farm, but here, Sleeping Monster is really... Whoa!
A
He
dragon!
won against the dragon!
A dragon versus a bear, baby. Sleeping Monster, 2v1 now. Monspeed and League trying to pin him down, and G1 follows suit. Sleeping Monster trying to run away, hoping for that execute, but League slaps him up, and it will be G1 who gets the kill, as Baron is now being started by UA1.
Yes, that is a free Baron and potentially a free dragon here, because Philippines just fall down from the hands of Sleeping Monster, although falling beside him as well. But then again, as you can see, the Jung is still alive. MSF Friends is still alive. And I think we can possibly see a potential steal here.
No more information. That will be
Okay.
a smite coming from France. UA1 secures a Baron.
But now they are heading towards here, towards the Drake. And of course, Fen is trying to kill this Scuttle, you know, to provide vision, the movement speed, of course, that is very good. And the ward placement from the Cosmos. And now they are starting the Ocean Drake.
Yeah, and HRiP right now losing a lot of objectives. The primary carry that can melt these champions down would be G1, but G1 is not able to get any amount of breathing room all throughout this game to be able to scale and deal damage freely all across those team fights.
And as you can see here, MSF France is slowly building up against the Philippines here now. Now, they are the ones getting pushed back. Parang sinabi lang nila, okay, pinagbigyan namin kayo kanina ng game 1. Ngayon, kami naman ngayon ang babawi sa inyong game number 3.
Oh.
Di ba?
Look at the positioning here, eyeing onto Fen, has to force out the flash. That's a good burn coming from HRiP, but their tier 2 turret in mid lane is uncontested.
Oh.
UA1 gets another turret. 6 turrets already down for HRiP.
A potential public execution here might be done. Okay, they're really waiting for Sleeping Monster here to push the respective lane. As you see, they're literally slowly but surely, all the waves are slowly creeping in on the base of HRP, and that is a very good thing because they don't know what to defend first.
Yeah, and they don't even have to force a team fight. Now Charm connects onto Sleeping Monster. Shockwave will try to zone out HRIP, but UA1 is just happy with an in-depth turret in mid lane.
See, they just so they can't fight it if they don't have to force a fight. They just need to win the game.
Yeah. it's very safe what they're doing right now. They are on a massive lead though, so really they're locked in onto just keeping the win for
Yes.
themselves in this game.
They have the momentum, they have the gold lead, they have the item lead, they have the objective lead, actually. Now they're just waiting here. Possible for a freeze lane and maybe try to take out the top inhibitor, the only tower left for the side of HRIP, so, you know, to keep it constantly pushing. So they would need to have someone be left from the base, you know, to defend. And that gives a disadvantage for the side of HRIP.
Yeah. But what do you think of Kaisa? Because right now, Kaisa or G1 has already built a Kraken Slayer, the BRK, and Gensu. Is this going to start up HRIP again?
Quite possibly, but then again, look at the items of Kisante and of course Ambessa. They already have their defensive items and he already has a Frozen Heart there. We could, para mabagalan ang kanyang attack speed, and of course, meron na rin damage ang ating Oriana dito kasi he got the Rabadon's Death Cap, and of course he got the Luden's Echo, and dyan pa rin naman din si Sona,
Yeah.
with his ultimate to
Oh!
stun. Oh, okay.
Topside, 3v3. Already
He got one
just
shot.
melting down Monspeed and League. And down, the Nexus is open. Ari coming into the backside with a flank. Trying to go in for the charm onto Sleeping Monster. With Kaisa going with her killer instinct. G1 is very low already. Has to play it a bit safe.
Okay.
UA1 has opened the base.
Okay, they have successfully opened the base, but still there's going to be a crystal up on the bottom inhibitor tower for the side of HRP. And now, I think it's going to be pushed earlier if they don't really plan to defend it now.
But paint me a picture here, Poppy. What do you think does HRIP need to do to turn things around? Considering the objectives are coming up, the base is already open.
I guess they could probably have a win here since Baron Nashor is already spawning here. There's no slight chance that they could steal it if they're going to sacrifice Villatine's life here for a steal. But then again, as you can see, the range of the deny that the Fen, Cosmos, Sleeping Monster is providing currently is really hard for the side of the HRP. But then again, if they really waited, they can still try to steal an Elder Dragon, but that won't do much. As you can see, Sleeping Monster is slowly pushing in because he has a Hull Breaker now, which really leaves Ninja Cat to be the only one that's, defending the base.
Yeah, and we'll see. You mentioned about the potential steal for Villa teams being the sacrificial lamb here for HRIP. We'll see if it runs through, because UA1 right now has full control over the top quadrant jungle. Wants to take down the Baron. Advantage, public execution onto G1. Has to force out the killer instinct to go back to safety, but safety is no longer available as Shockwave comes through. G1 is in danger, able to kite out. Sleeping Monster slaps him with his fist. But it is a 2 for 2, 2 for 3. HRIP hoping for a turnaround. Villa teams to the front lines. Ben is in danger. Franz is beaten down. It will be HRP with the ace.
Okay, now there's the picture that you're looking for. Villatins is now the one that wipes out all the side of UA1, and they are going to take that Baron by himself, actually.
HRIP.
Okay, someone is TPing.
Now go for the TP.
Yeah.
You have League as well coming to fray. It's a 2v1 of Villa teams and League up against a Baron Nashor with Ninja Cat going in for the defense of the base. And this is what you mentioned, Poppy, a while ago. Baron will be one of the winning conditions for HRIP. Now that they have the potential to get it, what will be the game plan now?
Now the game plan is to probably shove the lanes a little bit farther away from their base, so potential that there can be 5v5 instead of a 4v5. But then again, I'm sure UA1 is still gonna capitalize the waves since we have a Volibear here that can gank, and he has a TP as well. So he can just go in for a, like a side push and then go inside for a team fight. But then again, as you can see, he's not gonna be able to do that again.
All right, push and roam will be the name of the game with a Baron buff as well for HRIP. You mentioned about this, they have to find avenue to be able to push back this lanes to their advantage. But the question is, can they do so? As you have Sleeping Monster keeping themselves towards the base as well, and having a bit of an overextension on top quadrant jungle. Having that deep vision as well could pay dividends for UA1.
Yes, they have been utilizing that Baron buff really well, but as you can see, they are already checkpoints that set up by the UA1 to prevent any towers of meeting the minions. And now we have a little bit of seconds left, actually 10 seconds left before the Elders. I think this is going to be the final fight right here.
Oh, for sure, the final fight brewing across the Elder Drake. 5 seconds remaining, and it is now spawned up. HRIP starting it up, UA1 hovering over the Dragon's Pit, but so far, everyone is scared to start it off.
Just one mistake can cost this game, actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Villa teams.
okay. He's pulling.
Pulling the Elder Drake. It's
Starting,
Fen
actually.
just hovering on the sidelines as well. Has sights on to Villa teams.
Yeah.
G1 Monspeed, Ninja Cat as well. Hovering towards the Dragons now.
Ooh.
They start the fight as Villa teams uses up the ultimate onto Fen.
Oh no.
Isolated, has to force out the flash onto the Dragon's Pit.
Okay.
Elder Drake. A quarter HP down already, charmed onto Franz, and now Franz is in danger. G1 free hitting onto Fen, and Fen has to retreat back to safety as Franz is broken down, is turned back to the base. He is gone, and HRIP has the free option to take the Elder Drake for themselves.
Oh no, that's what happened. Franz got taken out. But then again, Sleeping Monster is still slowly pushing out on the top
The
side.
base, the base.
But then again, okay, he managed to call out. I think he can still do this.
Okay,
can still do
HRIP
this.
doing a split type of play here, wherein you have Villa
oh no,
teams,
yeah,
and
he's
then
dead.
Cat going for Sleeping Monster.
He's dead, yeah, he's dead.
Bear slap on the Ninja Cat, stuns him up, but Franz and Sleeping Monster still out of the count here. HRIP opting to force out a fight as G1 and Monspeed trying to push and force out a fight in the mid lane.
Okay, they need to burn that Elder Dragon buff in order to stand a chance against a Shyvana, especially with a full item Shyvana. Huh. So this is going to be a hard game now. This is quite a stalemate now since they almost have all of their items built. So one mistake can literally cost the game. Even though they have the Elder, yes, but they can still defend it since they already pushing it with the energized minions.
Yeah.
Or enhanced minions, yeah.
Yeah, and you also have to consider, all Tier 1 turrets are still available for all lanes for UA1.
Yeah.
No turrets has been taken down yet by HRiP. So in terms of taking down turrets, you're right, Poppy. They still have a lot to do to be able to reach the base of their opponents.
Okay, so this is going to be another Baron fight. Okay,
France has been seen.
France?
Villa teams as well. Into the mid lane, use up the ultimate already. Villa
no.
teams trying to chase down France.
Wow, that is a
As
fast
this
dragon.
Is a lock in. France, smite it. Villa teams
Okay.
opting to back away.
But that puts them in a disadvantage.
G1.
because Shyvana can't transform. She doesn't have any dragon form. Okay!
Shockwave onto Ninja Cut. Good utilization of the ultimate to retreat back to safety. Oh, this is such a scary moment for both
Okay.
these sides.
Okay, so they need to buy time here for Villa teams to build up his stacks again to be able to transform into a dragon. But now, they need to utilize it. UA1 needs to utilize it. Okay, he needs to ult away.
Ultimate burned already. Sleeping Monster, no more ultimate available. In the mid lane, it's Villa teams being targeted by Fen. But these two champions are quite tanky as well, not being able to burst them down that quickly. UA1 resets for now.
Okay,
Ooh,
they're
cancels.
eyeing up on that Baron. Kaisa has already built, actually all the items has already been built by Kaisa. So
Yeah.
this is really going to be hard. 3 items now. 3 full build items for Kaisa, Ari, and of course Shyvana here. While on the other side, they already have built items as well for the Volibear.
Yeah, and this is no longer a story of gold. This is no longer a story of how much gold you have more than your opponent. It's a story of how you are going to play well in team fights, how you're able to win towards your winning condition. Because UA1, one team fight is going to be the name of the game. HRiP G1 will be the name of the game for this team.
Oh!
Shockwave onto Monspeed and G1. Public execution follows through. It's Monspeed
Oh,
that's
he's
gone.
dead.
It's a 4v5 or 4v3 situation right now as Ninja Cat Charm on to Fen has to force the flash away. It's HRiP who is at a massive disadvantage. Villa teams is down low already and UA1 has the free reigns to start up the Baron.
Okay, now he's slowly building up his healing because they still have the Sona here.
Oh, G1, keep an eye on where you're going for.
Oh, no.
Fen is in danger. Ultimate's onto Ari. Ari is gone, and G1 left on his lonesome. And Fen,
That's
alongside the rest of the crew, jumps on him.
That's game.
And Fen, G1 is gone. HRiP hope to turn things around, but hope is not gonna win the game.
Yeah, that's
UA1 looks for the Nexus, looks for the base to clear out the game. UA1 wins the series 2-1.
Whew. That is an intense game, actually. They managed to back out at the last minute, or at the last second. They waited for the Shyvana to cool down his dragon form, and then went back in. And then the K'Sante ulted, which results them to dying. Of course, the damage of the K'Sante when he ulted is really, really, really great. And now, that really cost them the game for the side of RHPI.
Yeah, and we talked about this right a while ago, that HRiP has to keep G1 alive because G1 is the winning condition. But the thing is, like, the rest of the crew already died. No more Monspeed, no more Villa teams, no more anyone for the side of HRiP. And League is what, contested in the bottom lane to defend up against Sleeping Monster. So G1 was left on his lonesome. At the very end of that, it's a 4v1 or 3v1 situation, and G1 was just slain, and it was over.
Yeah, and he can't ult as well because Sleeping Monster can stun a Shen ult to be able to cancel. And of course, Twilight's Hound has a anti-shield, so it doesn't really much matter on how much shield that Shen can provide, as you can see. So yeah, basically it's just a 4v5 situation, or rather a 4v4. But then again, they have a Sona that can sustain them for an extended fights.
With extra mobility as well, right? So in terms of UA1's composition, it's really just an all-in. And I think I want to really highlight how Twilight Shroud used the Shockwave at the very end. It caught Monspeed, it caught G1.
Yes.
And that alone signaled the rest of the crew to go all in onto that team fight.
All in. And now, the MVP of the game here, Volibear, Sleeping Monster, once again, showcasing his broad champ pool. And is, of course, the laning that he can provide. 6 kills, 3 deaths, of course, 9 assists. The gold, 19,002. Team fight participation, 75%. Damage done, 44,606 damage.
Yeah, and yeah, I think Sleeping Monster played it quite well, especially considering the plays that he did onto the side lanes, going for that side lane push to really just contest onto
Yeah.
League across the board. But Rebby, a fantastic game coming from UA1.
Oh my goodness. UA1 and of course Sleeping Monster, our MVP, again showing how this is unexpected, especially for an ADC. You would expect the other roles to have a wide champion pool,
Yeah.
but of course it's going to be our Dragon Laner who is just showing that he is not limited to ADC, not to APC. You can play a tank, you can play Cho'Gath, you can play Volibear. But of course, again, just UA1 as a whole, so many amazing decisions. You could see na super calm sila throughout the whole thing. Even when they're on the back foot, they're able to recover, and it's just amazing to see. So I really wonder what goes through their brains when they
Right.
play through these games, and I think it's the perfect chance to ask them in this interview.
Ooh. Uy!
Hey, it's France! Hello, France!
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, congratulations
Hello.
on the 2 wins today.
Yes.
2-0 and 2-1. Grabe, again, such a masterclass, especially when it comes sa draft nyo. And I want to ask, who decides or how do you guys put together your draft?
So our team has obvious weaknesses, so I just have to make do with their draft. Even if I have to force them to play champs they don't play.
Ah.
Oh!
Yeah. Wait,
And
didn't they use... What champs did they use that they don't know how to play in the game?
Well, first things first, our ADC doesn't play Cho'Gath or Volibear.
Oh!
So-
Wait, so sino
That should be
sino
okay.
yung nag-decide? So you're the one who
First
decides
time.
the draft, France.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
so I wanna follow through now, friends, because the thing is, like, we haven't seen a one-to-one type of composition for so long already. That was just like year 1 of League of Legends Wild Rift, wherein we had like 2 solo side laners, and then the dual lane goes into mid. So what comes through your mind? Is this something you guys have practiced na, you know what, dalawang Baron tayo sa side lanes, tapos yung duo, punta na lang kayo mid lane, tapos let's make it work. How does that happen?
So 1-to-1 is still practiced even in scrims a lot. It's just that people have a hard time executing it. So they prefer playing standard instead. But for our team it just works out, so we decided to stick with it.
Wow. I really like the confidence, like especially the fact that you have this faith sa teammates mo that they can play whatever champion you give them, and props to them also for taking on the challenge as well. For do you know, like, has there been any cases like, you know, an owner case, diba? Like, you know how Faker made owner play Mundo even though he's never played him ever. Was there ever a situation na ganun with you guys?
Oh, our game tree. So our ADC, which was using Volibear,
Volibear.
Yeah.
he was still our Volibear players are Baron laner, and so we were just asking what build path to take and all, and we were just adjusting it during the whole game state.
Oh, so,
Oh.
so you're saying never pa siya nag-Volibear ever before this?
I mean, he gets the concept, but like he doesn't really use it in ranked games or
Oh,
even
I
in scrims.
Wow.
Imagine, right?
Oh my
Bringing
gosh.
out a champion unexpectedly and just to win a game like France.
And MVP, by the way, for Game 3.
Wow.
But, Poppy, you have a question?
Huh. Well, since nasagot naman na yung gusto ko mga natanong kanina, how about, meron ka ba bang gustong ma-shoutout or gustong masabi sa mga nanonood ngayon dito sa ating Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open?
Oh, I guess just shout out to our org owner, which is Doc Freyan. If you guys are in the Wild Rift scene, you guys would probably know him for really just supporting the org and then just
Okay.
helping us play through the tournaments.
Follow up lang. What is your message para sa mga makakalaban nyo pa sa susunod?
Oh, I guess just have more bet picks, because as you guys see,
Oh.
we were exploiting champion picks of other teams, which leads us to game 3s a lot, and especially in best of 5s, I think our champ pool is better.
Okay,
Ooh,
so guys,
Confidence.
level up those champ
Confidence.
pools. That's what's going on here. But of course, France, you guys are now the second seed in your group, which means we're gonna be seeing you in the playoffs qualifiers. We really hope that you guys continue your run through Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open, and best of luck. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations, France.
France.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. Di ko expect na one person calls the draft, tapos they just adjust, just play it.
Yeah, and I think UA1, you know what? You guys are absolute master chefs, man. You guys cooked that series.
Yeah.
And not just one, two.
2 games.
Two series, grabe, like parang lahat ng comps na were just solid. You couldn't really see. I mean, even us, we were kind of trying to guess kung ano yung what is the mix making, right? And
Yeah.
si France pala yung mastermind behind all of that. So again, yung mental load of as being the jungler and doing that is crazy.
Look, a master chef has a mastermind. The ratatouille, you know?
Remy.
It's Remy. It makes sense because like they're teaching what do you build? They're literally teaching them the build sa game mismo.
Yeah.
Like how do you do that? Especially it's not even a ranked game, guys. This is Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open. This is the highest level of Wild Rift we have in the Philippines. So of course it's just insane that something like that has happened. But of course that's gonna be it for match number 2. And on top of that, we will not be playing through match number 3 because bonus round will be winning by default, which means we already have our calculations for Group C's standings. So with bonus round winning match number 3, Group C is looking bonus round on top. 3-0 with 8 points. UA1 behind them with a 2-1 and HRiP at 1-2.
I mean, bonus round has played very well yesterday. They were
Yes.
quite dominating as well, and our expectations are, at least for me, that bonus round would still play a dominating game for this day for Group C. But
Yes.
for the rest of the crew, these are some familiar names as well that we saw over the past weeks
Yeah.
that played such a fascinating game.
That's
And,
right. And of course, this is for week number 4. Eto na, nasa halfway mark na tayo for Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open is split 2. Of course, we still have our creator track coming up, but of course, focusing on the community, this is gonna be up for next weekend. So this is for Saturday's schedule. And again, a very familiar team trying to have their shot at redemption. We have Cubao Korea and a lot of new faces then dito sa Group D.
Yeah, it's veteran or familiar names as well against those fresh bloods, and I wonder what will happen in the next weeks because once again we're reaching that penultimate of those playoffs, of reaching the ticket to Korea that these teams are eyeing out for aside from the million prize pool.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. Ngayon, excited na ako mag-week 4 actually. Pwede bang iikot na natin si Zillian? Tawagin na si Zillian dito,
Yeah.
tawagin na natin. Magpa-pass forward na tayo sa kanya para mag-week 4 na, mag-day 1 na agad. Kasi gusto ko makita ang lahat ng teams na naglalaro. And of course, their team compositions na pinapakita nila. And of course, the gameplay na the mastery of their team comps din. Napakaganda din makita. Especially kanina. From Legacy na yun, kung tutusin, di ba? Nasus and Senna. It's quite rare to see. But then again, it's an awesome sight to see.
We run it back.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Right? And from France himself, right? Looking at their opponents in the future, you know what? Study the new champions, study the meta champions, because we know how to play it. If you don't learn it, we're going to utilize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on top of that, he was even saying exploit the strengths of these champions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's so simple. Like, why make it complicated, right? If
Right.
this champion does this, just do it, right? And you don't even need to have any prior experience playing it. We'll teach you the build as we go on. But as you can see, confidence brought them all the way to the end. Consistency, and of course, that landed them that second seed from Group C. And imagine, win or lose, that was going to be the team that got to the playoffs qualifier. So it's really, really up in the air. But of course, this means this is the end of week number 3. Grabe, super exciting week. And of course, to close out the day, guys, any final thoughts?
New champions, baby. 1-2-1. We have these new meta picks, this untraditional, unorthodox champions that we're seeing here in Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open. It's very welcome.
Yes, and of course, sana marami pa. Sana marami pa kayong ipik. Sana Yordle comp naman ang gusto ko makita.
Ayan, five-man
Five,
Yordle.
Yes,
Five-man
five-man Yordle.
Lulu,
Poppy, Tristana.
Poppy, Trundle,
Diba? Ay,
Hyperdinger.
pinag-uusapan. 5-man Yordle. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen.
Right? It's
Diba?
crazy. Yeah. Unorthodox
I mean,
picks.
if they're confident enough, why not, diba?
Yeah.
End split 2 with a bang. But of course, that means we're going to be ending off week number 3. Once again, my name's Trubisco, together with Poppy and Infinity, and we'll see you for week number 4 of Wild Rounds Pilipinas Open Split 2.